present to you
KCCA has taken a number of steps to address this sanitation challenge, which include, but not limited to the following: the setup,
Welcome to Slam Dunk Basketball Talk.
A wise man once said, "The future has a name, and its name is hope. A tiny flicker of light that feeds on hope is enough to shatter any shield of darkness." At Mandulus, we really believe.
My first advice to my students, the people I train, the people I talk to, is that at every stage of coffee, from the farm to the cup, you can gain something. So I first get to know, like, you as you, what's your passion? Is it going to the garden? Is it going to the factory? Or is it like being a supplier? First of all, we are working for people. We're working for people, but our dreams are being self-employed. Yes. So in coffee, if I'm mentoring you, if like I want you to get something good, improve on your life, me, I can pass through roasting. I can teach you how, like I can teach you or train you the part of coffee roasting. So within that process, you like will be making some money somewhere. And where does that money comes from? You buy your coffee, you roast, you pack it, and you sell. Of course, there are many cafes that are opening. We have our organizations here in Uganda, like they are boosting up the consumption. We have business people that are starting up cafes, but there is that gap. There is that gap of supply. There is that gap of supply. Big companies are exporting, but we can also be the big company at our youth stage. We roast our coffee, we pack it, and we sell it. Let me take another example. You can be a good person in computer graphic designing. So when I introduce that idea, you can plan the way of branding that coffee, how we can market that coffee.
Yeah.
Yes. So we can at the end of the process, me and you will be having something to put in the pocket, or to save on the account.
Coffee industry is very wide, it's very big, it's very full of opportunities. Don't sit there and say, I have nothing to do. You can join the industry. You can get whatever you want. If you give it time, invest in it. By giving it time, don't look for money, don't look for big salary at first. First learn. After learning, you'll get how much amount you need. Yeah. In coffee industry, there's no barista should get this amount of money. No, it depends on your knowledge. Yeah. What you know is what you get. You cannot be having junior experience and asking for experienced one. No. You can join now. Good thing, everything is simple. Yeah. It's easy. Don't sit there and say, oh no, I'm scared to join this. No, it's very simple. You can make. Yeah, it's very simple. It's not so difficult. Simple, very simple. Very enjoyable. You can do everything when you're enjoying. You can do your coffee. You can serve your customers. Coffee create friendship. Yeah. Coffee gives you a job. Even if you are not working in a cafe, maybe you can go in different field, but still in coffee industry. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so what is that process in coffee where you get to know which kind of disease is affecting a certain kind of coffee?
Okay, first is understanding them, is having regular talks with the extension workers, the researchers, and people who understand the diseases. A disease like coffee wilt disease, the most common, obvious symptom is dieback. Dieback is when your coffee dies from the head, that tip, it dies going down. Because coffee wilt disease is caused by fungi. Now the fungi will block nutrients and water from going up the tree. Yeah. That means the farthest is the one that is going to die. Yeah. The farthest will die and dies like that.
All the way down.
Dieback. Yeah. It's the commonest disease. But coffee wilt disease that does not have obvious symptoms on the cherries. Yeah. Yeah. The other diseases like red blister and then berry disease, they have obvious symptoms because they are specific to cherries. Yeah. Yeah, with a few symptoms on the leaves. Coffee leaf rust, your coffee will rust, and this is important for Arabica farmers. The coffee will have some rust under the leaf. When you turn your leaf like this, you'll see a rust. Yeah. Just like rust. Yeah.
It's another great morning. Welcome to House of Talent TV. My name is Emmanuel Ateng. This is the Coffee Break show that happens every week. Wherever you are in the world, we're glad that you could join us today. Remember, we are live on our Facebook. You can go over to House of Talent Uganda on Facebook, or just go to our YouTube channel, House of Talent Uganda, live stream, and make sure to share this show far and wide with whoever is involved in the coffee industry. Or if you just know someone who's enthusiastic about coffee, let them know that the show is on, because we want to promote coffee in Uganda. Today in the house, I have a guest who has a wealth of experience. He has worked in Uganda, he has been to Kigali, he has worked all over East Africa doing coffee stuff, putting up coffee schools, and he is the MD, Managing Director of Volcano Coffee. Uganda, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Mr. Gerald Katabazi, to the Coffee Break Show for the first time. Gerald,
Yes.
you're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
I know that we were supposed to do this show sometime way back, but
I know.
you know, with life things come up, you know, and all of us get busy. But it's great to have you here today, and I know that we're going to have a very fruitful discussion. But perhaps before we get into, you know, the nitty-gritty of all these things,
Yes.
we just want to know, who is Gerald?
Okay.
I remember going through your bio and I'm wondering, you know, there's a lot of stuff, you know, that other people need to know. So who is Gerald?
Yeah. Thank you so much, House of Talent and Emma, to host me. I know it's been a while, and you've really spent a lot of your time really chasing who Gerald
Yeah.
to come to the show. And this shows that the show itself has a direction
Yeah,
to why you really have to tap really the entrepreneurs who are involved.
yeah.
Who is Gerald? Good question. Is a Ugandan coffee entrepreneur. Born from the coffee background. That's in Kasese. My story is a little bit inspiring.
Yeah.
How I got into coffee. I was born in Kasese, Kilembe.
Yeah.
Then Kasese is one of the districts that actually farms coffee.
Yeah.
It's an origin of Arabica, stretching away from areas of Goye, Mukonyi Mubuku, go to Wera, Kasindi.
Yeah.
All these are coffee territories. Then while at school, during my holidays, I used to escape from my home, my parents. I go to Bakwanyi. Bakwanyi is actually one of the lead coffee exporters in the country, and he owns coffee stores in Kasese.
Yeah.
So I used to go there to. No, when I used to pass by going to school, I would see women seated on the verandas, hand picking, sorting, grading coffee from the sacks. So I was so curious. Deeply, I didn't know that it was the direction set by God that I will actually follow in the future. So I would go by, then ask them what's up. They tell me. So during my holidays, I developed passion, or I developed interest to know exactly what these people are doing. So I would spend my holidays away from school with these ladies.
Yeah.
Now, time happened. Around 2000, we're talking about around 2003, 2002. My uncle picked me from Kasese, brought me to Kampala.
Yeah.
So when he brought me to Kampala, Najana Nkombi, he owned a coffee, he owned a takeaway. He used to sell chips, chicken, beer, sodas, etc. So at that time, I was a young person, and then used of course, the establishment used to collect different types of people from all over. Yeah. So they would come for beer, for chips, chicken, and I would serve them. So it happened like one of the customers was from UCDA. So eventually we tied up. We became buddies. Because I was very good at customer care, giving, smile. At a young age, you know what that means to a person who is into a government agency, an establishment like that. Yeah. So he would come every Friday to drink his beer and then eat chips. Yeah. So he one day gave me an invitation to visit him at his office. Then I went, and then we had a few discussions. I went back. So from there, happened to have a vacancy at UCDA. So they invited me like for a casual talk, and then we bonded. So from there it became story. So at UCDA, definitely there was a lot of engagements of the crop diagnostic steps, etc. So there's a lot of learning experiences. Yeah. So that's how I came into coffee.
That's an interesting story.
Yes, that's how I came into
most
coffee.
people just bump into coffee one day.
In addition to that, what followed from that spot? Yeah. Cafe Pap was opening. You know Cafe Pap Parliament Avenue? Yeah. Then when it was opening, I happened to pass by, and then I saw iron sheets, and then there was construction ongoing, etc. So when I went there, I asked the guard that what's going on. To be precise, that was 2004. Yeah. That was 2004. Then I asked the guard. He told me, no, there is a hotel. For him, he knew it was a hotel coming up in town. And there are people actually who are doing what? Doing interviews. Yeah. I picked interest, so I entered there. So I phoned Mr. Kojwang Isaiah, who actually is the general manager of Holiday Express Hotel at opposite Radio 1, doing interviews with a chef from Kenya called Robert Yose. So after one of the people that they were interviewing getting off from the interview room, I stepped in. I wasn't invited, I wasn't done one, but I stepped in.
Took opportunity.
Then, yes, I excused myself, greeted them.
Yeah.
After that, they asked me what's up. I'm like, I'm looking for a job. Have you worked anywhere? Yes, I worked with my uncles, take away Najana Nkombi. I can wash dishes, I can serve, that's all.
Yeah.
But then, as they always say, everything that is structured by God must happen.
Yeah.
So they told me to go back home and compose myself. I come at 10 the following day. By 8 I was on the gates. So, and from there, I mean, I explained to them, and then they integrated me into their training program.
Yeah.
So that's how I got a job. So when I forgot, that was my first job in the coffee shop. So we opened up Cafe Pub. We were trained as baristas,
Yeah.
on site like that. Then we moved on, and I got a job as a waiter. Yeah. So as you know, the business went into different structure, dynamics,
Changes.
management, etc. And I was appointed as a supervisor, assistant. Then I went through structures like becoming a barista, assistant head barista. From there, Serena was transferring from Nairo Hotel now to Serena. I applied as a barista, and a position that was not advertised. So when they called me, yeah, remember at Cafe Pub now I have an experience. I know what is a latte is, cappuccino, etc., mocha, what it means, and then being management, I mean quality issues like that. So at Serena, Madam Vicky, the one who was on the interview panel, was so confused to find my application is among the applicants to a job that was not what?
Advertised.
Yeah, so I met them. So they had nothing to me because they had not prepared for questionnaires for a barista.
For barista, yes.
So instead, I was guiding them on how to compose the menu for Kampala Center Hotel, structure it, have issues done.
Yeah.
They were so impressed. So story short, Mr. Emma, I wasn't even taken through a number of questions regarding to interviews.
Yeah.
I was instead given an appointment on the following week on Monday to get a bus ticket to Nairobi, Serena Hotel, for exposure. So I packed my pants, I packed my jackets, I packed everything. I bought a bus that was Gateway. I went to my Nairobi Serena Hotel. I had a little bit experience. When I reached to Nairobi, I got more exposed. You know, the coffee industry in Kenya is really aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, as I was on the training program I was internally integrated into the training program of Nairobi Serena Hotel, and externally integrated into Sidomans of Nairobi. You've heard about Sidomans coffee? Yeah. So at Sidomans, I was capturing lessons to do with roasting, cupping, the environment that is structured in coffee management. Then at Nairobi Hotel, Nairobi Serena Hotel, I was into brewing section. Yeah, so I combined two in one. Took me 2 months, we opened up Kampala Serena. Yeah. I came back, and then we opened up, so it's up. So I left a footprint at Kampala Serena. So in the same year, they were acquiring Kigali Serena Hotel. So it's how I was pushed to Kigali to go and reopen, because I have now a full-fledged connoisseur, yes, and who is, great. So my goal was to become the perfect person. And I really thank God that made me who I am, because I have consistently tried to push the perfection conduct within me by myself. Yeah. So in Kigali, remember I was in Nairobi, I happened to meet one of the government officials, Mr. Arthur Karuletwe. So he connected me with me again in Nairobi, and in Kigali Serena Hotel. So he loved my cappuccinos, my lattes, my espressos. So we had one-on-one, and then he liked what I was doing. Then he actually worked hard to get me into the government of Rwanda.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up again shifting from Serena Hotel, group of hotels East Africa, then to Rwandan government. So we did concepts, we did plans on how to restructure the coffee industry of Rwanda. So I'm proud to say that I was one of the founders of the specialty coffee industry of Rwanda under Bourbon Coffee. So I stayed there for about 4 years. Then after that, I came back, starting Volcano Coffee in 2014. Yeah. So Volcano Coffee was up. Now, what is Volcano Coffee, and what are we doing exactly?
Perhaps that's where
that's
we're going to go next. Yeah.
Yes. So that's a brief I can give about who I am, my background, and the future. Yeah. Yes.
Well, two things stand out to me. One is that you actually applied for a position that had not been advertised at all.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I think if you're watching out there, you might be wondering, you know what, how do I get into a job that I want? Yeah. They didn't even advertise it. Yep. Take your chance. Apply for it. Get there. Who knows? you might end up schooling them on what needs to be done. Second thing that stood out to me is that you actually have your footprint all over East Africa.
Exactly.
I think if we went to any big coffee shop or any government and asked Gerald Katawazi, they'll say, that man was here. And it's a very encouraging story, especially for all those who are getting into the coffee industry, the baristas and the roasters. And perhaps, before we go for a break, Volcano Coffee.
Volcano Coffee.
Having gotten all this experience from all these various places, how did you sit down one day and say, you know what, I want to branch into my own thing? What was the idea behind it?
Volcano Coffee, as I said, is a brand that is pioneering the coffee culture in Uganda with the best, latest brewing experiences. You see, largely you will find that in Uganda or in East Africa, but particularly in Uganda, because that's where the confusion is. Nairobi, Kenya is a little bit ahead of us. They're a little bit organized, set up. And this comes with, of course, the practitioners' mindsets. I will mention that people are now connected, and they're bonded because they have a vision and a mission. Of a case that is a little bit slow here, I'll hit that on that. I'll hit on that later. Then Kigali is also catching up with the trends. Well, it's a small community, but a little bit. You see, they are struggling, but they have a vision. They have a mission. Because as I speak, Rwandan coffee, is currently brewing across the globe. You go to London, you'll find a shop, Rwandan shop. You go to Seattle, you'll find one. You go to Barcelona, you'll find one. Well, for Uganda, we are still at a stage of crafting a story. A story, I mean, we need a story. Because when we're talking of like Rwanda, and you hit the stores like in the US, because I've done research, I've been there, I've met the players. You definitely find like there's a story that is attached to the commodity. Kenya Double A is one of the best sellers. Yes, and yet you know where they source that coffee from. So, story for another day. Now, Volcano Coffee, we are largely into this as a social enterprise. Social enterprise, I mean that we are engaging people like Emma, like him, to have a story, to learn. Exactly. When you can walk into our shop, first thing, we're not into direct like, you need to do this and pay. No. Who are you and what are you interested into this? So that we first understand your mind. Then after understanding your mind, then we begin diagnosing your questions perfectly, aligned to exactly what you're looking for. So we're a social enterprise with interest in brewing, because we have shops, Kasesa and Mbale, and Kampala now. So we're taking experiences to the origins. That's one. Two, we're into roastery, because we are roasting coffee right now using the third wave brewing roasting concepts. Unlike the traditional ones, whereby you have coffee collected anywhere, then brought it to the roastery, just put it into the drum, then expose it. No. For us, we first of all go into diagnostic stages. We analyze your bean. We give feedback is it suitable for is suitable for this market or it's not.
Yeah.
So you're able to do business confidently. You are able to do business or to give your target market a product that is going to be well sustainable. Because we don't need to to go into business and then second time the customer tested this lot and it's totally different. So that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So me as a player, I have to make sure that I take steps to guide who is coming to our roastery. Yeah. So we're a social enterprise with an economic arm, doing brewing, doing roasting, giving experiences, that's all.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, that is a really good concept, because most people just open up, let's say, a coffee shop or an organization just basically to make money.
Yeah, to make money.
There is not much into it, but it's interesting to know that you have a vision and a goal.
Yeah.
If you have just joined us, you're watching the Coffee Break on House of Talent Television. My name is Emmanuel Ateng. With me in the studio is Mr. Gerald Katawazi, the only man I know who applied for a job that was not advertised, got the job, and schooled the people that employed him. He has left his footprint all over East Africa and is here today on the Coffee Break Show to leave another footprint. We'll take a break right now, but we'll be right back. This is House of Talent Television.
Coffee industry is very wide, it's very big, it's very full of opportunities. Don't sit there and say, I have nothing to do. You can join the industry. You can get whatever you want. If you give it time, invest in it. By giving it time, don't look for money, don't look for big salary at first. First learn. After learning, you'll get how much amount you need. Yeah. In coffee industry, there's no like, barista should get this amount of money. No, it depends on your knowledge. Yeah. What you know is what you get. You cannot be like having junior experience and asking for experienced one. No. You can join now. Good thing, everything is simple. Yeah. It's easy. Don't sit there and say, oh no, I'm scared to join this. No, it's very simple. You can make. Yeah, it's very simple. It's not so difficult. Simple, very simple, very enjoyable. You can do everything when you're enjoying. You can do your coffee, you can serve your customers. Coffee create friendship.
Yeah.
Coffee gives you job. Even if you are not working in a cafe, maybe you can go in different field, but still in coffee industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's put up the camera. Welcome back to House of Talent Television. This is the Coffee Break Show with me, Emmanuel. Remember, you can catch us live on our Facebook page, that's on House of Talent Uganda, or just go over to our YouTube at House of Talent Uganda live stream. Catch the show right now. Remember, you can share it far and wide, and perhaps just drop a comment there. If you're enjoying the show, let us know. If there's something we need to improve, let us know. If you want to be on the show also, let us know. We can get you here. In the house with me today, though, is Mr. Gerald Katabazi, who has been all over East Africa. He has worked for the Rwanda government. He has set up Volcano Coffee. He has worked for Cafe Java, started off at Cafe Pub, and is here with us today to put another footprint in the coffee industry and in the coffee value chain. Gerald, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Before we went, we're talking about where you began from,
Yep.
you know, in Kasese, coming all the way to Kampala, then moving to Kenya, going to Rwanda,
Yeah.
then coming back
Not
to
only
Uganda.
Rwanda, not only East Africa, because
Yeah.
in 2019 I was in DC.
Yeah,
I'd gone to study about markets, specialty markets,
Yeah.
and dynamics and how commodities are moving globally. So I took 1 year then and I had to come back. So my objective was captured. But then, yeah, as I said, it's a mission I'm on because I'm trying to pioneer a new coffee culture
Yeah.
that is structured and structured, I mean like is aligned to the global business dynamics.
Yeah.
So that when someone reads Ugandan coffee, is able to really resonate it to its origin.
Yeah.
So what do I mean? Like when we begin giving stories, there should be a reason. There should be a cause to why that coffee is moving places to, from Uganda to
Other
such
places.
destinations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of the coffee culture,
Yes.
You've been around all these places, you know, going to even DC.
Yeah.
What are the major differences you've seen in the coffee culture? And perhaps before we get there, how would you describe coffee culture? Then we'd move into the differences between the coffee culture and the different places you've worked in outside Uganda, and also the coffee culture within our own country.
Okay. I'll give you an overview on how the coffee culture in Uganda has been transformed or has been moving from a place to the other.
Yeah.
We are talking of 10 years back experience where we had 2% as a coffee domestic consumption rate.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to mention that we've really managed to move from 2% now to close to 10% in the space of 10 years.
Yeah.
So that gives you a picture that the culture is catching up. Yeah. However, there's still a lot of work to do. To do in terms of the larger coffee is exported. You're aware of that. Yeah. And you know why, and you know, if you either way, you can tell, you know, the reason to why it is exported. And why it was coined as to be a cash crop. All these are crop. All these are measures to really make the crop get stuck, or the players or the farmers themselves gain nothing.
Yeah.
So it's a culture we want to begin building as young entrepreneurs in Uganda that, no, look, without exporting it, we can still consume this.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I was in Istanbul in 2016. There was an exhibition. I had to go with the, you know, collect the samples from different origins and then put them on a plane, roast a few beans, ground it, then have it on in a booth, you know, customize my booth deck. Looked wow. But here comes a Danish guy who came to my booth, and then we had a one-on-one. He's like, "What's up? I'm cool. Why here?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm here to do business. I'm looking for buyers who can buy the product." So we went into numbers. Shockingly, the numbers were really valid, but not giving a proper explanation. This is how it came. He asked me the population back home. Then we are 38, 39 Ugandan population.
Yeah.
the number of people that forms up this nation.
Yeah.
Then we went into production. How many bags can you produce? Then we are like 3.7 or 3.5 million bags of coffee. Then when you convert and then have the figures really late, you find that 3.5 million bags of coffee against 40 million or 39 million of people, it's nothing. So it's like, why burning your ticket and accommodation, etc., to come in Istanbul, yet you have a market waiting. And indeed, it was really absolutely right. Because why should I really get bothered to export green raw material to European countries? Yet I'm looking at the number of 120 million East African population, of which these guys can consume my what?
Your coffee.
My product. So when we're talking of developing up a culture, we need to restructure the industry itself. We need to know who is doing what. If Emma is into media, exposing the behaviors, people who are behind counters, who are behind roasting engines, people who are doing farming, what's the role of Gerard now? What's the role of the roaster guy? What's the role of the logistic guy who transports this coffee from the origins to the main roasters? And what's the role of the kappa who tests this coffee? What's the role of the marketer who is into marketing hotels? So all these guys must come together and then have a strategy, to a concrete strategy, to make things move. And this is how we must design a structure that is really categorized into 2 to 3 agents. We need a structure of farmers. A farmer's voice definitely will come with a voice and say, no, look, if you're a farmer X operating from Rwenzori region, you must meet these standards. Because I'm a roaster, and I'm a marketer, and I'm a broker, so I meet all these questions. Then a farmer from Elgon zone must meet these standards, because these are different angles, and they produce different
types of
exactly. So it's the same way I can say, I can give you an example of the breweries. You have a club beer and then have a Bell beer. They totally taste different. So folks will either go for a club beer and others will go for there is a reason to why they are bonded to these brands. Same applies to an appellation center I'm talking about. So an appellation center customized into three areas or structures of farmers with a single voice. You get? They will say, no, today we're not going to export this coffee. And they put a bulkhead. And to happen, you see culture coming up. We have roasters who will say, no, the moisture content we want, we've set 11% of the moisture content of your bean should be into the drum. The 14 will be thrown out. You are building a culture. The bursar will say, no, you see, the bean that has all these choky, these broken ones, these defects, etc., pest-connected beans, I don't want it into the grinder. You see culture building up. When you build those elements together, you're able now to have a consistently brewed product in the market. If I come to Hotel Millennium in Bukoto and have an espresso, same I should be expecting with Cafe Javas. So if we don't have those structured components within an industry, forget for now. And I'm talking from the point of experience. I'll give you an example just from here in 5 hour plane to UAE. These guys are really doing an amazing job. As we speak, as we still practice the first wave of coffee brewing experience, they're into third. Japan is into the fourth. So how are we going to advance to this?
To catch up with
them. So before you fight hard to catch up with them, you need to first align your mindset to better a culture.
True. Now, I like what you said in there, especially when it comes to the farmers. You know, the farmers are, you said, the way the structure is right now, it puts the farmers down.
Definitely, they're into small clusters, smallholders.
And there's this new coffee law, perhaps, that we have to discuss. There's a famous person, I won't say the name, who said that this law is there basically to shut down the small-time players. What is your view on this? According to this law, you're supposed to register, you're supposed to be at a certain standard. Perhaps with your experience, will this work for us or against us?
I'll give you. You see, I like giving views based on examples. Colombia You've heard about Colombia. This is now South Africa, South America.
South America, yes.
We have Colombia, we have Costa Rica, we have Brazil,
Yeah.
Vietnam. All these territories or these origins have laws, similar to ours,
Yeah.
and they are functioning very well. However, as I told you, now we have a law that is enforced and is going to be implemented.
Yeah.
But which structures are you going to apply to make sure that you enforce these laws? This brings you back to the structuring of the sector. Because, okay, now you have a law, yes, because to me, definitely I would support it, because it gives the government a proper way of planning to know the numbers of the farmers they have in the country.
Yeah.
Because right now, you can't, even if you wake up and then you go to UCD and tell them, well, guys, give me the figures of the coffee roasters in the country, I doubt if they have the numbers.
I also doubt it.
I doubt if they have the numbers of the baristas. Do you know we are the nation, we are the biggest exporter of coffee baristas to the UAE today?
Yeah.
Do they have the numbers? Do they know who actually went yesterday?
Most people do it independently.
Fantastic. So the law, partly to me, is okay. Because, well, it's the governing policy that is going to help the country achieve its goal via that sector.
Yeah.
But how the coming of the law and the implementation of that law is the question. Because to have that in law work fairly, equally fairly,
Yeah.
to plan, you need a barristers forum. Do you have it?
I don't think they do.
Yes, we don't. Because I'm one. We don't have a barristers forum. Because this forum should be giving views. It should be, giving challenges.
Yeah.
You see, yeah. Do you know that there are some cafes that use plastics to steam milk? Like I saw. Steam what?
Milk.
For cappuccinos. The connection of a plastic container to milk is absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
You get? And you know why, health-wise.
Yeah.
So, who is going to advocate for such good SOPs? Is a barrister. Now, from which platform is the barrister going to view those SOPs?
Yeah.
It's none.
There's no
So,
platform.
if you have a law that has, if you have a law that has police but has no practitioners,
Yeah.
then it's wrong. So to me, it's a law that is there on paper, and I'm actually, after 1 year or 2 years, we shall be here again discussing about
The same law.
the same law. How far has it gone?
Yeah.
Where has it helped? Because it's going to be shelved.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in 2013, look, I was working with USAID, Feed the Future as a contractor.
Yeah.
They were funding one of the bullets, they were funding the Roasters Forum. You get? And they were looking for roasters to support, but there were none.
Yeah.
You get? However, the sector managers will tell you that we have a roasters forum, which is on paper, yes, but shelved somewhere. So this comes back again to the people who are involved. Inclusion.
Yeah.
Emma, who is into media, Jared, who is into roasting, him who is into brewing. What do we do?
Yeah.
Then can we, because we need to get prepared. At some point, they will come, and because the law spells out different areas of concerns,
Yeah.
including media, they will come and lock your office, and you have no space to really get visitors to come and do what?
They show.
So you must get involved and then begin questioning what's the way forward. The law is very perfectly, but how it's going to be implemented is the question.
Yeah.
We shall be after 2
years discussing this. Well, perhaps before we get into another break,
Yes.
we've talked about inclusion.
Inclusion,
Okay?
yes.
We have roasters, baristas, we have farmers, we have the media, and we have all these players.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And with all the people who have been on the show,
Yes.
okay, the idea I'm getting is that everyone is standing on their own island.
Yeah.
Okay. The
Yeah.
baristas say UCDA is not helping us.
Yeah, yeah.
UCDA says the baristas are not coming to us.
Oh,
The-
really?
Yeah. The roasters say there is no connection. So
Yeah.
how do we get all these people in
Now,
the same space? How do
very
we create
good.
that forum? That
I've met the same question several occasions. Each platform I'm invited to speak,
Yeah.
I encounter it. And now this brings us back to players' mindsets.
Yeah.
What is our vision? Yes, UCDA itself is actually a government body supposing to supervise us. You get? However, if we are players, what's our role within the sector itself? Well, I've seen several of them, and this brings us back because of the poor managers of the sectors either we have, because I speak my views. These are my own opinions.
Yeah.
because we have mushrooming academies around. I'll give you an example. I know these academies. Few of them are for my friends. Few of them I've never met them.
Yeah.
But the stuff they're producing, I know their products. The skills transfers they are doing to other other people. I know. But when you go into real standards of international curriculums, you see that there are some gaps. And now, if they have gaps, who is supposed to audit what they're doing? Should be UCD. And where is it into this?
It's
okay,
lost
now,
somewhere
yeah.
in translation.
So now, nonetheless, if you mentioned the roasters, the baristas,
Farmers,
the media,
baristas,
the
yes.
farmers, who is supposed to organize us?
There should be there should be someone to organize, but
Okay,
there is
now,
no one at
for
the
your
top
information,
right there.
Emma, do you know that we have about 4 parallel baristas forums in this country?
No.
You don't know.
Yeah, because
They're
even the baristas who have been here
Yeah.
do not know about.
Do you know that we
the
have
same.
several roasters forums around in this country?
Oh,
They are there.
yeah.
Do you know that we have unions on top of cooperatives
Yeah, the
in this
farmers
country?
union,
Yes, they are there. And why are we stuck? And why are we stuck? Yeah, so that's the question.
Yeah.
So I would actually task you as a media personality
Yeah.
to invite, to have this room of yours crowded with these guys,
Yeah.
and then put questions to everyone.
Yeah.
What's your role in this sector?
True.
Okay, give us a strategy, give us a way forward. And because we've been stuck,
Yeah.
if we are mentioning that 10 years back, we've been at the rate of coffee consumption of 2%, and we've managed to jump it to 10, with the kind of challenges we have within,
Yeah.
supposing we're organized more. You get?
Yeah.
Over
Would
to
have
you.
leapt. Yeah, well, if you're catching the show right now, you're on the Coffee Break Show on House of Talent Television, talking to Mr. Gerald Katawazi about everything that is happening in the coffee industry in Uganda. We started all the way from him starting in Kasese, we went to Volcano Coffee, and now we're discussing the new coffee laws and how it's affecting us. Will it build us or will it tear us down? That is what we're discussing. If you're catching the show right now, make sure to tell someone, send us a comment. If you're asking a question, let us know what you're asking. We'll take a break right now, but we'll be right back. This is the Coffee Break Show on House of Talent Television. Don't go anywhere.
it is never too late to start anything, that is for sure. You can start on anything and everything at any time. It is not yet, like, time is not closed. You can do it.
Yeah.
Put God first, like Bernie said, put God first. Number 2, me, I have a mentor, she's called Letitia, the one of KCCA. Like, she will call me to ask me, did you train? Like, get that one person that is going to do that for you, and I thank God for her. Yeah, get that one person that is going to do that for you. It can be your coach, it can be someone that has played the game.
Yeah.
Bernie is here and she's willing to do that for you. Please reach out to her. Yeah, basically that is it. And also trusting yourself. It starts with you. If you feel like you can't do it, even when you try it, it's not going to move. But when you feel like you can do it, with God helping you and having a mentor by your side and all that, you can surely make it.
Welcome back to the Coffee Break Show on House of Talent Television. My name is Emmanuel Ateng. Are you in the coffee industry? Are you a barista? Are you a farmer? Are you a roaster? Are you a CEO? Or you just love taking coffee? Do you know what is happening in the background of coffee in your own country? Do you know why we export more coffee than we consume actually in our own country? Those are the things that we're discussing today with Mr. Gerald Katawazi, who is in the studio with us. And we're discussing all these things to make sure that Ugandan coffee gets to the place to where it's supposed to be. Now, Gerald, in the just concluded Dubai showcase,
Yes.
okay, Uganda had a stand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And on social media,
Yes.
everyone on social media
Yes.
didn't like what happened,
Yeah.
you know, with our showcase there
Yeah.
as a country.
Yeah.
And perhaps that shows who we are, the kind of brand that we are taking out there, okay? So first, what are your comments on that showcase that we had? And second, how can we brand Ugandan
Ourselves.
coffee out there?
Okay, now, one, I'm a player.
Yeah.
Two, I have a person who regulates what I do. That's Uganda Coffee Development Authority,
Yeah.
and whose role actually is to include to instill inclusion in each and every activity that it does.
Yeah.
Now, I was following up those. I followed up, and I'm still following up because I'm supposed to be in the UAE for that exhibition. I think next month.
Yeah.
I'm going to prepare. I'm preparing myself. But a few items I observed that for Ugandan case, Emma, you see, you have a family. When you have a family, of course, you have a wife, you have a caretaker, a shamba boy,
Yeah.
and your own kids, perhaps.
Mm.
And then, at some point, your neighbor is having a wedding. Is wedding a son or a daughter next weekend.
Mm.
Now, your neighbor invites you for what? For his
the
wedding,
wedding.
for the son's or the daughter's
Daughter's
wedding,
wedding,
whatsoever. And then, now, it's you who is supposed to decide exactly what your people who are going to follow you or who you are going with to that wedding, to how to dress.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm.
I mean, dressing code may differ, but you can't force me to put on a suit. Yet I'm not comfortable with the suits, jackets, etc. Yet I'm comfortable with my pants, damaged jeans, etc.
Yeah.
You get? So why I'm giving that a background is exactly what happened to UAE. Here you have 192 exhibitors under one roof.
Yeah.
And you are part of the team. You are part of the exhibitors, and you have players who are back home, who are really doing amazing job. Well, you may not have enough resources to support everyone, but to me it would be very nice to say, like, you know, my son, yeah, I know you hate a suit, you hate to put on a coat, but let's put kaunda suit, and then let's go together. You look presentable to both me, represent my family, and then
To
the community.
Yeah.
Do you understand that? So what we should do is really indeed to put the bracket of inclusion in each and every country as whole.
Yeah.
Because we belong. This is our country.
Yeah.
Because we, first of all, for us who are into private sector, we are driven by passion. We are driven by
passion.
So when you charge me with an activity, definitely I have to make sure that I really put each and every dot to make it a wow.
Yeah.
So when it comes as a wow, it does not only benefit Volcano Coffee, but it's going to benefit even
the country itself.
The country itself. So now, not until the country itself, the handlers of these events, etc., government, whatsoever,
yeah,
begin including each and every one into their plans, we are going to remain stuck.
Yeah.
I'm talking from the point of experience. You have 192 exhibitors, and Emma is flying off from either Denmark or Greece to come for exhibition. And he comes to your booth. He finds you with the textbooks. Yeah? He goes to his desk and finds a textbook. Contains information.
Yeah.
Remember, you have 192 exhibitors. Now, meaning if I need an information about Volcano Coffee, I need to carry a textbook.
Yeah.
Huh? A magazine, something of sort.
Like a pamphlet with
Yeah.
information, yes.
A magazine, this magazine about Volcano Coffee contains about 200 pages or 58 pages or whatsoever.
Yeah.
Same to his magazine, same to his magazine. So eventually, when I break the day, I'll go with 10 magazines of this heap. Meaning I have extra cages on a plane.
Yeah.
So do you think if I'm wise, I'll go on collecting these texts?
No.
So if at all I think as an entrepreneur, I have memory sticks. I have a memory sticks.
Yeah.
I have a memory stick to go giving on, which costs me not even $5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Won't I make a point?
You will.
So, the point is, you can't go to such an international exhibition platform when you are disorganized. Definitely, these are the questions you have to encounter,
Yeah.
and then come back home, and then you set your mind, and then you begin looking around, asking yourself what to do. Yes. So, the Dubai experience is good, but it awakens those who are into these sectors, who are handling what, to begin redefining their mindsets.
Yeah.
Then also incorporating into the inclusion bracket into their working structures. Not until we shall be as taxpayers.
Yeah. Well, if you're just joining us here on the Coffee Break Show on House of Talent Television, my name is Emmanuel Ateng. We're still talking coffee with Mr. Gerald Katabazi. Very informative interview. If you've missed the first part, remember you can always catch it later on House of Talent Television. That's on our YouTube and also on our Facebook. Gerald, coming back.
Yes.
I read from your bio that
Yes.
you work with the youth.
Youth.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
One of your guys was here the last weekend,
I
and
saw.
he also gave us a very good perspective on the coffee industry in Uganda. And looking at this period that we've been in, the whole coronavirus and the lockdown, and kids haven't been in school, businesses have been down, and Uganda is at a place whereby the economy is not where it's supposed to be. A couple of years back, someone in the government said the economy would be but we didn't get there. Okay, so in a situation like this,
yes,
okay, where you find that there are people graduating, coming out of campus, no jobs. Okay, there are people who have lost their jobs. Yesterday, I passed by Makerere University, and there were shops along one of the streets that were destroyed by certain government bodies. Okay, and people are losing their businesses. Okay, if we export as much coffee as we do, okay, we don't consume it here. How can we use this coffee seed, this coffee idea, this coffee concepts, okay?
Yeah, to accelerate growth.
To accelerate not only growth, but to create
impacts.
Jobs, impact on the youth, those coming out of campus,
yes.
And just to let our economy get to the place where it's supposed to be. Because if you look at Ethiopia, Uganda says we are trying to get to the place where Ethiopia is. It's the leading coffee grower in Africa, an exporter, okay? And we are trying to get there. But with all these problems, you have different players on different planets, people coming out into the job market with nothing. So how can we use coffee to accelerate Uganda's economy?
You see, first of all, Uganda as a country,
Yeah.
we are really blessed. We are a nation that harvests coffee twice a year. That alone shows you how blessed we are. We are a nation that produces coffee well, despite all the challenges we have on production at the farm gates, at management, etc. We are a nation at least who can produce now, is it 40 million bags or 30? By numbers given by UCDA website, is I think 38 million bags.
Yeah.
You get? Now, a larger portion of that coffee is into exports. And you know who exports it? We are talking of multi-internationals, not actually even folks like you who are Ugandans. Top 10,
Yeah.
these are multi-internationals. And their goal is, of course, to export a raw material.
Yeah.
And when you export a raw material, a raw commodity, you are going to create a job for the other person. The 9 coffee bullets we talk about, are you aware of the 9 coffee bullets? Or I break them for you?
Please break them down.
The 9 coffee bullets we're talking about, these are entirely a supply chain
Yeah.
along the value chain engagements that we have.
Yeah.
We're talking of the post-harvest activities. This is harvesting coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah? Get into Kase, this Chiboko, you know. Then go and hurry it, get FAQ, fair added, quality coffee. After hurrying it, you need to grade it. After grading it, you need to cap it. After capping it, you need to roast it. After roasting it, you need to deliver it. That's a 6th bullet. After delivering it to a cafe, like where you found me, you need to roast it, to brew it.
Yeah.
That's the job of a barista. After brewing it, you need to serve it. That's a waitress or waiter.
Yeah.
After serving it, that's happiness, the last consumer. After drinking this cup of coffee,
Yeah.
what follows
Happy.
is a smile. So these are the 9 coffee bullets I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All these are composed of fully fledged, cool jobs. Cool?
Jobs.
But because we are still stuck with the colonialist mentality of naming the crop a cash crop,
Yeah.
that sentence has really made us get stagnant, get stuck into our minds.
Yeah.
Then we have leadership that is not going or reading the beyond the being. You know that tagline? Beyond the being. So they are stuck at some point.
Yeah.
All what they are looking at is to capture the revenues. Because I know, not shy to say this, one container it's 2% of their revenue. So they're looking at, they are major focused on the 2% collection from each container. So that's wrong. So that's why I'm saying to have that captured forums, platforms, views, document, push to whoever is responsible to capture them, then bring the questions to the table. However, during my career, I've managed to train 1,225 young people in coffee, brewing, roasting, farming activities. Not doing it alone, I've done this with the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. I've done it with UNDP. I've done it with the Feed the Future, a US program that is looking at the farm agriculture developments in Africa.
Yeah.
I've done it with different 1,200. Yeah. So these young people, most of them, they really want skills. And once you train them, they're able now to have the future fully secured. Know these political slogans of yours, fully secured. Because I've seen how the crop transforms lives. With myself, first of all, I'm a product of that transformation. So I'm talking from the point of, I'm not an entrepreneur that is just sourced from the street, then with a few bucks in my wallet, then come cultivate it. And no, I'm a product of that transformation. So I know how it is. Right now, Volcano Coffee employs 35. The pandemic hit us, definitely yes, but like entrepreneurs, we figure out how to jump out and then start a new life. However, I would advocate, or I would say, coffee is one crop that can really transform lives, can create impacts, but it's capital intense. It's capital
intense.
So you need me, I need you.
Yeah.
We need a development partner, we need a government. Policies should be favorable so that we can become a better collection and move the country forward. It's one crop I believe in that can secure hundreds and thousands of jobs for this nation.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yes.
If we get to that spot of actually creating jobs in the country, okay, I've realized when it comes to the coffee industry, there's a lot of brain drain. Everyone who becomes a barista, his mind is thinking, okay, you know what, the first thing I have to do, get a visa to Dubai, get a visa to Qatar, get a visa to the UAE to go and work, okay? And we make it seem like those jobs are not there because they're not developed, okay? And we have actually companies that are sending people out of Uganda, and that is sending money outside of the country. Okay,
for your information,
how do we get them back here?
Yeah, for your information, this conversation now brings us back to the culture. UAE, as I speak, each day that goes by, since morning, by closing time, 10 coffee shops are opening. Because of a culture. People consume a coffee culture that is in UAE. You can't match it to Ugandan. You get it? It's a weekend. You go to nearby roadside bars. People are now boozing, taking beers, but in UAE it's different. So they have UAE and other territories or other countries in the Gulf. They have structured their coffee culture fully because they are supported. They have incentives on taxes. Here, the other day, I was importing my coffee roaster. You only had to stamp me a 15 million Uganda change for taxes. Not until I made noise, and they had to drop it by force because I showed them the impact of that roaster is going to contribute to the economy. So we still have no education with these guys within these sectors that are governing. First of all, so it's so ridiculous to find that someone who is stamping a machine like a coffee roaster to get it away from the bond does not know the law that all the agricultural machineries are tax exempted. So I had to go back and then begin educating, who is supposed to be this side educating Emma that, you know what, this is a machinery that is going to add value, please don't
tax it.
So as long as we still have such gaps within different sectors of this government, honestly, it's a journey. But it's a journey that is, because I'm happy that young people are now taking charge. And now they can listen so fast so that they see the values and they love their country. Now, back to the jobs. I still insist, we need to have a structured coffee sector. Then when we do the mapping, we know who is handling Eastern region, who is handling Southwest, that's Kisoro ETC, the Chigezi region. We know who is handling West Nile. We know who is handling where, Renzo region, stuff like that. Then we're able now to begin formulating objectives of what? Of the industry, vis-a-vis impacts, jobs, growth, etc. So that's it. But it's a conversation that can, of course,
keep going. I believe that this is a conversation for another day. We can sit here and go hours and hours. But if you're just tuning in, this has been the Coffee Break Show on House of Talent Television. My name is Emmanuel Ateng, and we are fast spent for our time, but we will catch this show again with Gerald because I believe that there's still a lot more to be talked about. Gerald, thank you very much.
Thank you so
for
much
coming through. I know we chased you for a long time, and you finally came.
The conversation should stay.
Yes.
As long as it can go beyond the bin and we realize the impacts and growth from it.
And perhaps one day we'll come down to Volcano Coffee and you actually have a good conversation.
Feel free to come
from there.
Feel free to come and then see experience. Actually, I would suggest bring the cameras so that we can have really a practical what?
A good
at the roastery, guys bring this, That's
all right. If you've been watching the show, thank you very much. Remember to leave us a comment down in our comment section, whether on YouTube, on Facebook, or even on our Twitter. And let us know, did you enjoy the show? Are there some questions that you have that you need answered? Is there someone you need to see on this show? Let us know. This has been the Coffee Break Show on House of Talent Television. My name is Ateng Emmanuel. I had Gerald Katawazi in the house, and perhaps next weekend we'll have someone else. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and drink Ugandan coffee.
It is never too late to start anything, that is for sure. You can start on anything and everything at any time. It is not yet, like, time is not closed. You can do it.
Yeah.
Put God first, like Bernie said, put God first. Number two, me, I have a mentor. She's called Letitia, the one of KCCA. Like, she will call me to ask me, did you train? Like, get that one person that is going to do that for you. And I thank God for her. Yeah, get that one person that is going to do that for you. It can be your coach. It can be someone that has played the game.
Yeah.
Bernie is here and she's willing to do that for you. Please reach out to her. Yeah, basically that is it. And also trusting yourself. It starts with you. If you feel like you can't do it, even when you try it, it's not going to move. But when you feel like you can do it, with God helping you and having a mentor by your side and all that, you can surely make it.
I have the pleasure to present to you
KCCA has taken a number of steps to address this sanitation challenge, which include, but not limited to the following: the setup,
Welcome to Slam Dunk Basketball Talk.
A wise man once said, "The future has a name, and its name is hope. A tiny flicker of light that feeds on hope is enough to shatter any shield of darkness." At Mandulus, we really believe.
The private sector is not yet fully utilized because not everybody can be employed by government. And we are looking at a future whereby more people are employed in the private sector than in government. So I think if we all work hard, if we all work together and invest in the right areas, there's been a lot of talk about value addition in the agriculture sector, in the mineral sector. If there is enough investment in those areas, I think it can create enough jobs for our children and grandchildren.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to take you to question number 4, Andrew, which is, let's talk about your journey at City Hall and the foray into the Executive Director's office, which is as Andrew Chitaka,
Very
and
interesting.
as well as the Director Engineering.
Very interesting. I joined KCCA on 1st November 2011. And before then, I was
for so much. CEO of whatever. They give so much.
This is the reason why you are actually on the bench.
Because of my credibility. Thank you so much. But now they attack you, they vilify you. And the goal is to weaken you financially. Is to weaken your honor. These are slanderers. So I'm glad that someone would stay up at night to ask and learn about me. And I pray that in the next 2 months, because I know many Ugandans who travel overseas, when they go there, one of the things, because the media has been so much, and Sam Kutesa, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, has really not done a good job. He has dropped the ball on this issue. Why? So many of us are being accused of being gay killers, including me. You've just heard that person. Uganda is being accused that we kill gays, which actually is absolutely untrue. And because of this, it has affected our tourism. It affects people who go overseas to do work or study. It affects whenever you go to a conference. Hi, my name is Eddie Okiela. Oh, where are you from? I'm from Uganda. Oh, you are the gay killers. And then you begin to describe. So one of the things that I've done is I've written a book, which should be coming out. I know that I keep saying the same thing, but the work of doing a book takes a long time, and I wish I could be supported.
Yeah.
You know, many people who write on this subject,
Yes.
like Sylvia Tamale,
Yes.
she's supported by the Rockefeller Foundation,
Yes.
Carnegie Foundation.
Yes.
There is money.
Is a very big brand, and as we go on, we will probably discuss the things we're trying to do to see that things change for the better.
Good. Sean, on the CEO bench, for everyone who is following, we're live on our YouTube studio where we actually streaming from. So YouTube studio, for everybody asking for a link, is actually House of Talent. You
confident in themselves and what they are offering.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest problem. Like, women will easily settle for a less pay than men would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mona Onyeto Deke goes on to say, or I think this is a comment, says, I didn't know that beauty products are taxed at 60%. Whoa.
They are. I pray that changes soon, but they are.
Okay. So
Yeah.
with that challenge of 60%,
setting up the company, you're doing tours all across the world. You know, a personal account is great, but how these things are taxed becomes important for you know, for your business later on. As soon as you cross that threshold of 50 million a year, you know, you're now in
the
a
interest become more
shares.
Yes. It is the Creative Industry Talk. My name is Eddie Okela, and this is House of Talent Television, live from the capital city of Kampala to the rest of the world. And of course, we'd like to welcome all of you guys from all across the world to the program that gives you an insight into creativity, creative thinking, and marketing and communication, and understanding how things are done. Music, art, and culture is all fused in this one show. And of course, coming up on the show today for the second time, part 2, is the one and only Lateef Kasumba Madoi Salif, the man of the Militati and many other titles, the man who makes, you know, a shirt or a trouser in just 3 minutes. He has done it all across the world. He's been on different stages all across the world. And today, we are joined by a very, very special man on the show. The man who makes, you know, the live on stage fashion very interesting for everyone across the world. The man who makes the fashion of Lateef comes to life. The man who plays the guitar. The one and only, you know, Jaja is in the building. Lateef and Jaja, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Jaja, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm okay, sir.
You're good?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and Lateef, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling great.
Feeling great?
Yes.
Well, I would like to welcome you gentlemen to the program today, and of course the Creative Industry Talk, as we left it last week. Was a great show. We enjoyed ourselves, discussed some really serious stuff. And today, back on the show, we're talking about a Ugandan fashion on the global stage, a Ugandan fashion on the global stage. Part 2. Part 1 was last week, and Latif is here. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the Latif Academy. We're going to talk about Latif. We're going to talk about how he does the live on stage. But first, we want Jaja to sample for us that song that is always the great thing. Jaja, take it away from us. Come on!
Oh, kamanjulire omusajja design latifu eyakuguka mukutunga you know I know mujjukire mu mwaka 2023 Lucky Dube bwe yajja wano Latifu ono ye yatunga ekyambalo kirungi Lucky Dube omugenzi mwe yayimbira bwe yaveeyo yagenda mu ggwanga ery'e Niger gye yawangula awadi mu kutunga bwe yaveeyo yafuna sikaala nagenda e Bufalansa gye yakugukira mu fasoni ne dizayini bwe yaveeyo yatandika Latif Academy ngesomesa fasoni ne dizayini teyakoma kwebyo naiya rasmansi nga lwe lunaku olw'abarasita mu nsi yonna twali tulyawo bwe yagenda eyo mu Amerika eyatungira mu bbanga ngali mu nnyonyi kati azze wano atulage ku bipya byalinawo Latifu tunga Latifu tunga.
Ladies and gentlemen, the son of Jaja.
Yeah, man.
Come on. Wow. Isn't that nice to have a creative industry talk where we bring talent live on stage in the studio, where we begin the show with a very great sound. Latif, how does this make you feel, like having Jaja do this kind of thing when Jaja is singing a beautiful sound coming out of Kampala?
Well, it's one of those motivating elements
Yeah.
when I'm doing stuff on stage.
Wow.
So
Wow.
music has always been my inspiration and one of my motivational elements when I'm performing, when I'm working, even when I'm working at school.
Yeah.
Wherever I am, some music is playing. I love music with great lyrics, strong messages, you know, basically music that affects positively to, you know, society.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Jaja. How are you doing? And how do you get full names of Jaja, first of all?
Actually, Jaja Master Kaya, the
Yes.
man that you seeing right here on my right hand,
Yes.
is the music teacher. Jaja Master. He has a lot of respect to his name.
Yeah.
That's Jaja for you.
Wow.
And he teaches instruments. He also teaches vocals.
Yeah.
Awandika, you know, he writes all his music.
Yeah.
Naye Atira is sharing skills with me, as I'm also sharing skills with him.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, we want to welcome everybody from all across the world to the program today, and we want to talk to Jaja and we want to talk to Latif as well about the journey of taking the Ugandan, you know, fashion to the global stage. We talk about the fashion out of Uganda. Do Ugandans have a fashion? Do we have a fashion? Yes. Do we have some people been doing some great stuff? Yes. Santa Azo is one of those people taking, the Ugandan fashion to the world stage. We've got Stella Tal taking that, to the stage. We've got Latif here doing it at a whole different level altogether. We've got Sensen, who is doing it at a whole different level. These are talented, creative Ugandan people. And we've got Jaja taking the sound on the stage. The beautiful sound of Uganda. You're gonna have to share this with your cousin, your grandfather, your grandmother, everybody in the family to be part of this. So I wanted to share this video far and wide. It's live, and of course we want to talk to these guys about Ugandan fashion. I want to start with Jaja. Jaja, let's talk about you. The first time Latif told you that, come and join me and we do this together, what came into your mind and how did you feel like?
Anyway, I feel it better.
Yeah.
I felt better. Let me say, I'm not fluent in English.
Yeah. No, Uganda Muganda.
Playing in Uganda better than English.
Yes.
Nze Jaja Master Kaya okuva ku Reggae Embassy. Nga ndi musomesa tugabana obukugu ne banange obanga mbeti mu ngeri y'ekirasta.
Yes.
Kubanga
One love.
Kibaita one love.
Yes.
Nali musanyufu nnyo.
Yeah.
Latifu yansinkana nakasero ewa muganda wange Jaja Kalanda.
Yeah.
Yansingana nina gitaawo nga njikusunamu nanyumirwa kyenkola olw'okuba nga ayagala nnyo abantu abalina talent.
Yes.
Nansiima era yampa ekirabo kya nusu 15,000.
Yes.
N'agamba nti musajja gwe ekyo kikusaana kubanga siise bulungi mu nsawo naye ettaano ezo tozindegera. Nangulira n'ebyokulyawo nampa n'ebibala mu nkole y'ekirasita. Ne ngamba yee naye musajja ono alabika musajja mulungi nnyo. N'atandika okujjangayo nga nsikiriza okugenda ku Reggae Embassy. Reggae Embassy yali daawo kazo nga okutte ku kikubo ekyejakana.
Yes.
Kala Latifu nanjagala paka lwe yampita nenzija ku Rasmus.
Yes.
Bwe najja ku Rasmus nagamba nti sijja kudda nakasero. Nendandika okubeera ne Latifu.
Yes.
Paka nakakati.
Yes.
So ekibuuzo ky'ombuuzizza nawulira ntya.
Yes.
Nawulira essanyu era terikomanga paka nakakati.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Latif, tell us more. You've heard what Jaja said. You want to say to somebody who has not gotten Jaja in English and in Uganda very well from all across. There are people watching this show all in the US, in the UK, in Canada, in Sweden, and in Denmark, all across the world, in Kenya, in Rwanda, in Tanzania.
Yeah.
I mean, what Jaja just said, I asked Jaja a question. How did it feel like the very first time Latif called you to come and join him on the show?
Yeah.
And he said that he felt very good. He felt, I mean, just take us through that experience when you first called Jaja.
Oh yeah, actually we have a brother, brothers in black.
Yeah.
Rasta Jaja Kalanda in Akasero. And that's where I met Jaja Kaya.
Yeah.
So to me, the way he was playing guitar, it sounded very unique. And I love unique things, because I mean there are many guitarists around. But I loved him from day one.
Yeah.
And this is what I do. Whenever I find someone with a talent, I want to support them in any way. Abayimbi bangi benkoledde engoye. If I had the money, nandiguze copies zaabwe in a way to support them. Naye olwokubanga sometimes I find it easy for me to support you clothing wise, because musicians love clothing. And that's why I interested him to come and start, learning how to make shirts and pants, because he needs to change all the time.
Yeah.
In platforms like this, all the time appearing on stage, TV, So I gave him that idea, Nimugamba, come, let's share the skills. I have a musical feel. You can teach me how to play. Actually, he has taught my son. He plays guitar, is very good, and keyboard. And Mutabani wa Papa CD made him this shirt. Because he's teaching him guitar, how to play guitar. So was teaching him how to make a shirt, Mutabani wa Papa CD. Then the piece that remained, Nemugamba, why don't you make for your teacher a shirt? And the kid just bought the idea right away.
And this is done right here in Uganda, what Judge is wearing right now?
Yesterday in Kawanda. This is Papa's son, Papa Sidi's son.
Yeah, who made the shirt?
Yeah, he's 13 years.
Wow.
He made this shirt for
It's called Ryan.
Because he teaches him how to play guitar.
Wow.
So it's the same thing that I do. I can support you in terms of fashion, clothing. Era ne kompita ku wedding, oyagala kuyamba to support you on your wedding. Chance okukola ekyama maybe to make you a changing wear or a gown or something like that.
Wow.
So because Fetugamba at our school share the talent. Gabane cholina, what you have, you really don't have to have too much
to give out.
Yes. Share what you have. Cholina, it's just too much. It's just that you don't know that what you have is just too much.
Yes.
But people think when you give, we're gonna losing everything. No, it's not the way like that.
Wow.
So that's how I met Jaja. Jaja is a humble man. I mean, you can just the way he talks, the way he plays guitar, his lyrics. You can easily identify that this is a very humble person.
Yeah.
So netukwatagana bulungi nnyo up to now. We formed a band. He has his band is called Sweet Band.
Yeah.
Because he plays sweet music. That's what he calls his band. So until now, netutunulia, how can we use fashion and music, you know, to create something that can positively, you know, change the society. So that's how we came up with the song Kitenji Party. We were thinking people with different thoughts, people with different beliefs, people with different cultures can come together in one party. As Africans, because we have a print that is called Kitenji, that brings all Africans together.
Wow.
So our people power, our movement, Africans, Kenyans, Nigerians, West Africans, South Africans, we can all come in one unity in a party wearing Kitenji with an identity, which is Kitenji.
Wow.
And that's the essence of the song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Latif, and thank you very much, Judge. We're going to have to take that song. We want to listen to that song. We're going to take a break. We want to listen to that song, and we want to hear the composition of the Kitenge music done by Jaja and, of course, Latif right here. It is playing on every stage where these guys go to, and they're going to play it again. Coronavirus came and slowed down things. This is the Creative Industry Talk, where we get to discuss everything about creativity, culture, cross-cultural learning for peace building is what we're saying here. Cross-cultural learning for peace building. Please, I repeat that word. Cross-cultural learning for peace building is what we're talking about here. And of course, we're talking about a Ugandan fashion on a global stage. Do you have a fashion? Is your fashion making it to the global stage? Latif is going to take us through on this part 2 of the interview. Stay right there on the Kitenji Party. Let's have that party and enjoy it as we go for a coffee break. This is the Creative Industry Break.
Mary Jane mama, batene stressi mungi nga ne covid yansalako ebizibu byetagisa sente nyingi onyumirwa kayimba kano omuswayiri agamba nti furuta bangi ne nzijukira demu wange nakayaga erinnya ly'ezzungu ye Mary Jane oyo yambererawo nambudabuda mu nnaku ne mu ssanyu mu ghetto ne mu cité alibani alivawa alinzija ku mwana muwala ono Mary Jane Mary Jenny mwagala nze mulabanga eddagala
Reggae Embassy Uganda Africa Unite in Kitenji Weya
abaami n'abakyala mwena abasimatuka korona naddala abali erudde eri muno sirandani kyembakuutira kiri kimu butekubagiza wadde embeera za korona bangi zatutagula kakati tuve mu mayumba bitenje pateyine esonze bumale ate nga tetusaanidde ddala kugisubwa mwani yabagamba okwambala engoye z'emivumba tujja kwambala bitenji byokka Designer Latifu Uganda omurasita owakabye yatonga mu nnyonyi wamakwesa bulembaga Maliki Jeni ne Hawa abo basibi banvi alo tujja kuba nabo Anifa wa makeup Mariamu yedikoletako ne Pofini ebyokulya bingi nnyo ebyekifirika Madamu Sala Soshi ebitaddemu omukono Olivia Kasarini n'alima Makamaka manyingo owulira Kuruno twambala ebitenji byokka Kuruno twambala ebitenji
African Culture Tengeza Festival Mukitenji pate tubeera twolina ebifo Kabeera ketalogo kuza Madamu Sala Promoter kyasinze namemwe London Mu North London abatuuse batumiddeko Nabeyuna ekitenji mwenna kambagoneko Omwana wammwe ali omukko yalemeddeko gwebuuza Popini oba Mary Latifu yaliko Amanya yensono bitomu by'omuntu omutamu Akulukuta ennyukuta apangira ddala ebitamu Limu ebifati mu mpisa nakwata ku kalamu mpulira amaganda zenna gambunye ebifo abitegeka Latifu Madoyi designer bw'atandika okutunga baba temumuwona tetwesala bitenji byokka temutulaba
Welcome back from that break. This is the Creative Industry Talk. My name is Eddie Okela. On this very fine day where we're talking about creativity, Ugandan fashion on a global stage. And of course, we want to understand this whole thing about, Ugandan on a global stage and how we're taking the fashion to the global stage. Of course, I see some of your comments here coming and people are saying, I love that gentleman, I love Jaja. I love Latif. Can we hear some more from Jaja? Of course, Jaja is going to play for us that song, Kitenge. You've heard it, the sound, beautiful, and we're going to dive into how Kitenge is going to make it to the world stage as planned by Latif Shah.
Abaami n'abakyala mwenna naddala abali erudde eri mu North London kyembakuutira kiri kimu butekubagiza wadde embeera za korona bangi zatutagula kakati tuve mu mayumba kitenji pateyi n'ensonze bumale ate nga tetusaanidde ddala kugisuwa mwani yabagamba okwambala engoye z'emivumba tujja kwambala bitenji byokka Designer Latifu Uganda omurasita owakabye yatunga mu nnyonyi Maliki Jeni ne Hawa abo basibi banviiri alo tujja kuba nabo Anifa wa makeup Mariamu yedikoletako ne Pofini ebyokulya bingi nnyo ebyekifirika Madamu Sala Shoshi ebitaddemu omukono Olivia Kasarini n'alima Makamaka manyinga owulira Kuno twambala ebitenji byokka Kuno twambala bitenji byokka.
Yeah, you've heard it right there coming from Jaja. That's a sound beautiful coming from Uganda. Come on, guys, you're gonna share this out. You're gonna make this look really beautiful.
Yes,
let's talk about the fashion now.
Yes.
Jaja has given us such a very beautiful sound on stage, and he's giving us this. We are going to wear only Kitenge on the party. And nobody has ever made Kitenge sound so cool like this. Let's talk about it. It's all this motivation. Behind this fashion,
we really care.
Yes.
That's one thing. We really care.
Yeah.
And we hope this song is going to support also other tailors and designers.
Yeah, okay.
Because we are trying to make people, we are trying to create an awareness that let's embrace our own. Let's wear our own. We can see the taxes are so high right now, importing clothes from China and everywhere. But let's embrace our own. That way we are supporting the industry and we are developing a country. Because we are creating many jobs for tailors and also designers who are going to become so prominent, you know. So this song is basically to interest the people, the community, that let's embrace our own. Make an order from a designer, your nearest designer. It's not just ours. It's a song for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're in the industry, take advantage, share the song, let the people. We want to make a very beautiful video for this song. That's why we are taking our time.
Yeah.
We want to interest the people so people can support their industry right here. So that way we are developing our nation.
Talking about it, Latif, a lot of time we think that tailors have low self-esteem.
Yes.
Because they are not always brought out to the forefront.
That's right.
Of the trailers.
That's
but the cloth I'm wearing is made by tailor.
By
The shirt
tailor.
I'm wearing is made by tailor. The
Yes.
clothes I'm wearing is made by tailor.
Yeah.
The shirt you're wearing is made by tailor. I'm just learning today that a 13-year-old
Yes.
made this for Jaja
Yes.
right here, Jaja
Yes.
Kaya. I mean, how do we get the tailors to actually begin to believe in themselves that yes, I'm the one who makes Okila look good,
Yeah.
and therefore I'm important in a society, and I can take my craft and my art and then spread love across the world. How
You're
do we
very
do
right.
this, having done this on a world stage you
Yes,
yourself?
you're very right. And I'm doing everything possible, basically to lift their self-esteem. One thing, you've seen me make clothes on plane and on also other platforms. I'm taking a sewing machine where you rarely think you can make clothes from. But trust me, clothing is everywhere. Even when you go to shower, there's clothing. Even when you go to bed, there's a type of clothing. Wherever you go, clothing. Clothing or designers, fashion supports music 99%. Because before you even
In fact,
come
Ghana
out,
should be giving us a sound to support this one.
exactly, you know, because before
Ghana
you
give
think,
us some beds so we can continue with this. Yes.
before you start thinking or planning your concert, you're starting to think, how am I going to appear on a concert? How am I going to appear on a show like this? How am I going to appear? You get a point. Everywhere there's clothing. So people must now start knowing that clothing is very important in society. Clothing is commercial. People, when you make clothes, you can make money. You can make business out of clothing. And now DIT, that's the reason why DIT is coming in, because we've tried to create this awareness that the designers or the tailors must be supported in this industry, and also other stakeholders. Because being a fashion president, I'm not just talking about designers being a designer, but all the industry I'm talking about, the people who supply us machines. We have Kiembe people, Kiembe sewing machines. We have the people supplying us with fabrics. We have people teaching. We need journalists, people who can talk right about fashion, present nice pictures, not the pictures that people aim at, taking knickers for the models. That's not what we are looking at. We are trying to address it nicely and properly. So the reason why I'm doing that, abantu basobole okwekiririzamu that guno omulimu gwa bbeeyi. DIT has already assessed us and many other centers that have been put outside there for people, the tailors who are already skilled, to go and be assessed so they can be accredited. If you have good thoughts, maybe you have a birowozo ebirungi you want to table in the parliament, you can as well be able to stand as a parliamentary, as an MP. You get a point. But before, luli babade batuita omutunzi. Bubatunzi. Like minimizing. When you fail exams, try okutunga. It's not for failures. This is for really genuine people with brains, because there's a lot of mathematics, there's so much geometry, statistics in clothing. Come on, you cannot fail elsewhere and think you're going to try. Try it, decide. Also, we want to produce really skilled people in the field. Abantu abatuufu abateekeddwa okukola omulimu guno. People who qualify with ethics, people who qualify as professionals, people to qualify with skills and also credentials. So you have a whole package right there to lobby for offices, So omulimu guno sigwa beyi dondolo, mulimu gwa tendo. Yes.
Wow. Wow, you've heard it coming up from Latif. This is a creative industry talk, and of course we're talking to Latif right here, and of course Latif Design, Latif Academy, and Latif, the man who makes a shirt in 3 minutes on a plane. That's something totally very different. And of course Jaja, I want to ask you a question. You are now on the world stage. You have been traveling with Latif, going for fashion, golabanga. Wangambe even tukatibitandika choose omulembe gogo choose wachuka dala. Is that the right word?
Yes.
Yes. So Dad, I want you to share that bit with us. How does it feel like when the first time you jump on the plane with Latif to go? If at all it has already happened, or even in a bus to go on another stage somewhere, how did it make you feel like?
Buli wentuuse ne Latif wonna mpulira bulungi era mmanyi nti Katonda yakiteekateeka tubeere na Latif. Ensonga lwaki nayiyayo kalirikisaawo katono akagamba nti omuyimbi n'omutunzi basomesa erudda babasanyusa kaya ne Latifu katusomese gwanga lino akati jangu osome oyige fashoni komola tunda fona sente.
Wow, come on everybody, give it up for Jaja. Wow, Jaja. Huh? Yeah. Let's talk about Jaja. Have you been out of Uganda with Latif?
No.
Have you been anywhere on a stage?
Yatuwadde ku stages nyingi nnyo Zakabi, Chronics, Busy Signal, Chameleon, Bobby Wine. Tuwadde ku stages zonna top concerts wano mu Uganda. Naye ayina show as we speak right now. We are being advertised already for Uganda independence in the UK. The North Ugandan community in the UK is organizing a get-together event for the people of Uganda. Okwejamu okwenazake nakuya corona. So they have an independence event which is going to have a fashion show. But myself and Jaja Kaya will be there representing as well. Most of all, together because we are trying to bring up the kids in the UK. They are too much into computer and everything. They have not tested the real thing. So we want to take the real thing to them.
Wow. This is going to be Jaja's first travel with you to the UK world stage. Jaja, how are you feeling right now?
I feel nice.
Can you share? What are you looking for when you get to the UK and when you jump on the plane and you go there with the music, with the guitar? What are you looking forward to?
Ndowooza Katonda ajja kubanga ayise mu Latifu okuntuusa ku ddaala lye nalina mu kirooto kyange. Lye nali nsuubira.
Kati okutuuka eyo, when you reach there, what do you want to see?
Okusookera ddala njagala kulaba ku bannayuganda abaliyo. Ekyokubiri kulaba abazungu baatuleka batya okubeera mu mbeera erowoozesa omuddugavu yenna nti ye tasobola. Era obuyimba bwange njagala bugende nnyo sayidi awo nga bulaga nti omuddugavu naye asobola ate ye muntu omutuufu ali original.
So to add on that, the event being organized by the North Ugandan community in the UK, together with UGFX, that is the Uganda Fashion Expo. We know, myself getting an internship, to do my internship in Paris, and arts residence in Paris, Chambi Kulo Wongo, I realized that everybody needs something like this. People have to get out of Uganda, look at the international platforms, tap into international markets. That way to borrowing ideas and let's do things. When you come to my school, my design, I copied it from Norway. It was a theater. So only when you come to school to witness that, and with time when it's done, because the school is still under construction. But I mean, we need to borrow these ideas. We need to copy good things and bring them back home. When we are so much here, we do not know what people are doing outside there. So UGFX is right there. I did my photo shoot in Hollywood, because I know there are also models here who don't even ever get They start modeling until they retire. They have not tested an international stage runway. You get the point. So those are the reasons why UGFX is in place. On that event, we are planning also to have people who want to go look out for, technological machinery, because fashion is into technology right now. The way machines make clothes, we need that back home because the industry is now growing. We must now start eyeing towards that direction.
Wow.
Machines, materials, and things like that.
Wow.
Yes.
Latif, just before we go for a break together with Jaja, and I want everybody out there to share your comment, kisses and disses. We want to hear from you. What do you think about Jaja and Latif joining together, music, fashion coming together to basically bring you an experience on stage? Nobody wants to wear clothes that they don't feel good in, or owned, and nobody wants to wear clothes that don't look good on them. Neither do you want to get yourself in a certain shape that when you wear clothes you don't look good in. You are completely, you become very, what I call uncomfortable, and you are not. You're not confident in yourself. And the tailor makes this possible for you. But the musician brings the love, it brings the spirit out of you, and you feel good about it. And Jaja is telling us his story. He's going to jump on the plane for the first time going to the UK. How do you expect?
I just wanted to add on something like simple, small on that, because why the music comes in, because the music sells so rapid. That's why you see in America, the musicians eventually get into clothing, because they already put their names out there, therefore the brands will sell easily. So this is why we are coming into, in conjunction with the musicians. That's why I address Bobby Wine. His platforms are wide. Chameleon, his platforms are wide. The Kenzos. When you dress an artist, a big artist like that, Rema, you share the same platform. Whoever sees the outfit, and if they are interested in the outfit, they will be, who made Chameleon's overall? Who made Rema's dress? There's a very great designer here, my former student, Diana. She made the dress for Rema, you remember? Those are my former students. We have Ipigogo, former Miss Uganda, Monica Kasiate. She's so proud. She's a former student of Latif Academy. These are all designers who are making great designs.
Wow.
Yes.
And so for everyone who's watching the show, we want to, want you to share this far and wide. And I'm particularly very thrilled that this is the journey of a Ugandan fashion on a global stage. Latif has been doing it. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Latif, Jaja, Kaya, and myself are going to be talking about how it feels like when you're on that global stage. When we're talking about global stage, we're not talking about YSA stage. We're talking about not just Kigali stage. We're talking about jumping thousands of miles in London, in Paris, in the UK, in the US, where you see a Ugandan on that stage, running, doing the runway. Stella Tala has been doing it, and of course Santa and Zoe has been doing it, Latif is doing it, Senson is doing it, but these guys are unsung heroes. We don't know them. People are not looking up to them, but these are guys who are taking our fashion to the rest of the world. Can we define our fashion and take it to the world, Latif? We'll be right back after the break.
If you create a space which enables people to think and thrive, that's a bonus. Before I started working officially, I used to do a lot of freelance work. And as a young freelancer, my laptop was on my back. And I didn't have an internet connection. I didn't have an office desk. It was difficult for me to work at home. So what I did is I would go and sit in a restaurant, buy some tea or breakfast, and ask for a Wi-Fi password. And then I would sit there and have my breakfast slowly, as I did my work, and I sent work to clients and everything, But before long, it would be lunchtime, and they would
be forced to eat also.
They would bring you lunch menu. You see what I mean? So when you find a space where people can come and sit, and pay for a full day.
10,000, I'm told.
Yes, you see, that is creativity. Because the owner of this building or the owner of this space knows that people, there's a certain segment of the market that can't afford to rent a premises per square meter or 10 square meters or 100 square meters and pay monthly and bring their own furniture, their own internet connection, carpeting, light and everything, a working bathroom, and then lunch for staff members. So they think about it creatively and they say, how many people can this space take? 100 people per day. Okay, good. If each of those people pays 10,000 per day, and they come and have access to the internet and a nice chair and a desk and a good environment where they can concentrate and deliver. That is brilliant. That is creativity in the workplace.
It helps you become the trendsetter. You know, humankind is set in a way that they will always have a thing for the pioneer of things. So we see it, if you think about these big corporations we see in Uganda and how they advertise and the different promotions they bring, you will somehow the target market will always have the pioneer front of mind. So for me, creativity, that is how important it is, because you will get the masters, you'll be an A-lister on the papers. But if you do not know how to channel, because there's not one company in the arts or in business, as we know it, there's not a company that hires more than 10 people, and all of them are not creative. There is always creativity in a company.
Okwambala engoye z'emivumba tujja kwambala bitengi byokka designer latifu Uganda omurasita owakabye yatonga mu nnyonyi wamakwesa lulimbaga.
Welcome back to the program. This is the Creative Industry Talk. My name is Eddie Okela. In the studio is Latif Madoi Kasumba, who is a fashion designer and of course you know, a man who is turning around life of giving out skills to people, life of skilling people into another level altogether. And of course, Jaja Kaya was a musician. Jaja, take it away. You know, we are Ugandans, but we never understand some of the beautiful things Uganda have. I want Jaja to just give us the sound of oh Uganda, may God uphold. Let's go for it. Yes, everybody, check it out. Wow. Please go, Jaja. One more time.
East Africa.
Yes, that's the East African sound. Let's check it out. Wow, watu wote wa Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya,
Mambo
Tanzania,
vipi?
mambo vipi?
Tankbovu,
Yes.
Busy Beach. I'm coming, actually,
Salam.
talking about East Africa, Tanzania, we have a student from Latif Academy.
Yeah.
He is the only person who qualified to, you know, present at Swahili Fashion Week.
Wow.
In Dar es Salaam. So we shall be going to give him support as well.
Wow.
Kamau Al Issa, we are very proud of you.
Wow.
Yes.
Jaja, let's talk about that sound.
Yeah.
When you're playing this thing, what do you feel like from a musician point of view? When you're playing this sound, when you're playing Uganda national anthem, when you're playing the Buganda national anthem, I mean the Buganda anthem, you're playing the East African anthem, how do you feel like as a musician?
That is, I feel my country, I feel my blood, motherland. That is the only way how I can identify my country to people musically.
Wow. I want to chogereko mu Luganda abantu bategere bulungi.
Bwembanga nkuba obuyimba obwo,
Yeah.
mpulira nga yengeri gye nnyinza okukozesa engalo zange. Nendaga nga soogedde kigambo kyonna, ne mpulira nga ensi yange nsobodde ojjanjula eri abantu bonna ne bagitegeera bulungi, okugirayo ddala ekifaananyi ekiraga nti music osobola okuyisaamu obubaka bwonna omuntu n'ategeera newankubadde nga toyogedde.
Music is message.
Music is message. Well, thank you so much, Jaja. Latif, let's go back to, you know, the one thing about going on the world stage.
Yes.
I know we talked about this, but I want to talk about the Ugandan fashion on world stage. Every time you go on those trips, and you're on the runway and in the, you know, world stage, and you're doing these things, what do you say about Uganda, and what do you tell people about our fashion? And do they really buy our fashion? Do they wear our fashion? I've seen some people wearing Uganda flag shirt, making Uganda flag looking nice. What do people say about us when you go on these things?
Actually, they embrace it so well. Because first of all, we have very beautiful colors.
Yes.
The Uganda national colors.
Yeah.
And the flag itself at large. And you see, during my act, I always wrap the models that I'm going to dress in Ugandan colors and also freedom colors.
Yeah.
So that way the comments are always, oh wow, beautiful colors. So you can see the people love it.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can create awareness that you see what I'm doing is so UG. So if you want to see this and more, simply come to Uganda. So we are also adding a stone, you know, to the tourist industry.
Wow.
And that's why we also set up the Reggae Embassy, because this is where we display all the Ugandan culture and the Rastafarians' lifestyle. The clothing, the music, and also to see so much more, you know, yes. Yeah.
Well, I want to just read a few comments coming from people up there. Frank Tugume says, thank you very much. You know, welcome to the Creative Industry Show, where creativity is explored to the greatest heights. Thank you very much, Frank. And of course, Serugo Matthias says, greeting to Salatif, Salif Kasumba Madoi, and of course, Jakana and Jokolera. Thank you very much seeing you guys on the show. I want to read the comments coming from Sweden. This person says, Edio Killer, thank you very much for the show. I always look up to this show every Tuesday. I'm looking forward to seeing the Creative Industry Talk coming. I think this is a very good platform for us. And being a Ugandan living and working in Sweden, this makes me proud to see that Ugandans are beginning to, you know, do things at a different level. Shout out to that guy, Jaja. The sound is beautiful, and I look forward to seeing Jaja on a world stage. I should make it from Sweden to London when Jaja is London. So Jaja, abantu
abantu bena abo mu Scandinavia, abali Sweden, because we have our people right there.
Yes.
Amsterdam, definitely, Denmark. Mwena mubeyo ngawe UK bwejjango tuwagira in the show. When you have shows in Sweden and everywhere, they always come and support us. So guys, simply get your tickets right now. Independence 9th, North London.
Yes. And then so Jaja, I want to just talk to you, Latif. The sound of Jaja when you go on the stage with this sound, I'm now looking at the future. You said we're going to the global stage with Kitenge, and you want to put Kitenge on the platform for people to actually feel beauty. I mean, happy about it. We've seen the West Africa and the North Africa, you know, where Kitenge, and we're very proud about it. Ghana is leading that process of putting it so beautifully.
The Ankara,
yes, Ankara from Ghana.
You've got the Sheikh from Ethiopia.
From Ethiopia, they've got the Senegalese who feel very proud about their son. Now, Uganda.
I've actually, I already did an identity for Ugandan fashion.
Yes.
And that's what I even talked about it in the other part 1. And that is La Kikoi Election. La Kikoi Election is Latif Kikoi fashion collection. That you always find at least a piece of Kikoi, you know, to create identity that this is Ugandan made outfit. Because Kikoi is our identity as Ugandans. So we must also embrace Kikoi. But putting together Kikoi and Kitenji, it's all African. But because Kitenji has been like global, even when you go to the States, everybody is like, Latif, when are you coming? I need a Kitenji shirt. I need a Kitenji skirt, things like that. So Kitenji is already out there, which is already Africans. We must embrace it. But, you know, to give it an identity that this is Ugandan, we must, you know, embrace Ekikoi.
Wow. So how is it going to be unique that when I see it from a distance, I know that that's Uganda? I mean, because when I see it from afar, I see Senegal. I see it from far, I see Dakar. I see it from far, I see...
You get to know that this is Ethiopia.
This is
South Africa.
South Africa. They've done it so well. But you're coming up with one and saying you're taking us up there. How is it going to look like when I see it?
One thing, it's going to be unique. The moment you say a very unique outfit, just know that's from Uganda. It's done by his uniqueness. Senior intelligent Rasta Salif. So one thing, one identity, it's going to be unique. When you see something, I was in Paris, and because my label Latif Designs the Animiste label. Animiste label is unmistakable label. Even if I didn't label my shirts, but my hats, because I have my own custom made patterns. One time I lost contact with the person I was supposed to meet in Paris in a very huge mall. Oh man, and I couldn't get in touch now. I was already lost. But this person had already been addressed that, when you meet Latif, he has unique hats, he has unique patterns. So I decided just to walk around the mall, and this person just stopped me. Are you Latif? And I'm like, how did you get to know me? And he's like, I was told that you have very unique hats, and I identified you because of your hat. So it's unmistakable, unmistakable label. For one thing, it's supposed to be unique. It has to take it anywhere. So let's do it that way.
Okay.
Let's make it creative and unique stuff.
Latif, I want to go to the fashion that you've been talking about. When you said unique, but somebody wrote to us last week and says we need to brand the Ugandan product going out. Are you working to work with some really serious marketers, brand developers, product developers to package your product and make sure that when it goes out there, it is made in Uganda, seen in Uganda? Are you working with some marketing and creative people on you to, sort of bring this communication together, or is something that you're developing?
Well, I'm dreaming to have something like that. I hadn't started on that, but I think I need it.
Okay.
And truly I need it. So if there's someone out there who can do it professionally, like I mentioned in one interview, I don't know how to leave the school, how to leave my legacy so it can be protected. For example, I would love to have my school protected in a way that it stays for life. If it's the government, but sometimes I don't trust the government because the government sells its own parastatals. But otherwise, I would hand over my school to the government, to govern it. So it stays for life, so they protect the aims, the goals and everything. So it goes on and on and on to benefit the rest. But if there's someone out there who can do real branding, because I'm looking out, to something like that, it would pain me, if I died and I didn't have my dreams come true, if I didn't realize my dreams. But if there are people who are out there who want to support us, we started a campaign building our own schools. We really believe that we can build our own schools, even without external support, let's say foreign funds. We have a campaign building our own schools and the nation. By building our own schools, we believe we are building a nation that way we are collecting 1,000 shilling from each person, which is something chosobola okuwaayo nogamba lyamu chapati. So if you have 1,000 shilling, we are targeting 1 million people every let's say 3 years. 1 million people, because 1 million people providing us 1,000, that is 1 billion. Yeah. My school in Jibalira, it only needs 1 billion. So we want to build a school in the eastern, let's say in Mbale, Soroti. We want to build a school in northern region, let's say Gulu or Arua, wherever, Pakwach. We want to build a school in western, maybe in Barara or Kasese, Fort Potro. Yeah. We want to build a school that is going to, help, because we've tested it. Myself, I've tested it, it works. It's the skills that are feeding me to take care of others and myself. Yeah, so support our cause, building our own schools, and nation. Support us with just 1,000 shilling. Wow. We are targeting 1 million people. Wow. Every three years, like that. When we come to your office, to all ukumi, na yo sobolugamba wadde million. If you have kids, it's something very small, but at the end of the day, we want to engage the people. But we are following a project here. Latif azimbi somero because I already started that. I was building my own house. No, I don't need to sleep. I need to work and I need to live something. Like Dubai Yagamba, Rastas never die. Omurasta tafa nga aina kyeyaleka. Naye osobola okuzikirira nga toyina kyewaleka ku nsi.
Kituufu nnyo. Thank you very much, Latif. I want to go to Jaja. Jaja, the inspiration behind your music, what inspired you to write your songs the way you write? And now that you are in the fashion space with Latif, music and clothes, you're wearing a kitenge that is made from a very young man as an appreciation to you as a teacher, and want to just share with us what is the inspiration behind your music? And also going forward, is this marriage between music and fashion going to change the way you write your songs?
Of course. Nsuubira nti bigenda kukyusa nnyo society mu nsi. Abantu balina okukitegeera nti buli muntu Katonda yamuwa ekitone. Bw'akikozesa obulungi y'empeera. Eri mu Bayibuli baziyita talanta. Era bagamba nti eyafuna n'agiziika oyo tagenda kubeera na mugabo gonna gwafuna eri Katonda we. Kinsanyusa nnyo okubeera nga ninawe ntuuse. Abantu ne bagamba nti bambi jjajja Kaaya tumwenyumiririzaamu. Nsaba Mukama Katonda ateeke omukisa mu mbeera eyo abantu bafunemu ate bafunemu ekyokuyiga nabo talanta zaabwe baziggyeyo. Kyensuubira nti mbulamu obujja mu maaso Katonda asobole okubeera nga ampa empeera abantu bonna mpozi gye bandiyagalizza era nabo bagifune okuva ku kusoma kwe banjigiddeko mu ebyo byenkoze. Neyanziza ekibuuzo ky'ombuuzizza.
Kale ssebo kakati kyenjagala kumanya Jaja naye abantu bonna abalaba ino show from all over the place. There are so many people all across the world, those who speak English, those who speak Spanish, the French, there's so many people. And parents, okuva dda nnyo, music was not something that parents looked at as a way of life. But you are here seated, you are about to jump on a plane to go to London at your age now, you have children. Would you encourage parents to allow children to do music as a way of living, as a parent?
Era abazadde bonna mbassaamu obuvunaanyizibwa okuleeta abaana mu Latif Academy kubanga ffe twasoose okulaba ekitangaala eri ensi. Okusookera ddala amawanga gali ge tulowooza nti gaatuleka. Ensomesa gye tusomesaamu ku Latif Academy yo gye gaatulekeramu. Kati omuzadde nga Mukama akuwadde omukisa n'obeera ku mpewo kuno n'otulengera, beera nga otumiddwa ababaka bamalayika ne bakuwa amawulire agagenda okufunyisa miliyoni ne miliyoni za sente. Leeta omwana mu Latif Academy we wali ekituufu. Bw'aba alina ekitone eky'okuyimba ng'omulaba ayimbayimba, ng'omulaba akuba ebikerekere, muleete ayige ekyo kyennyini Katonda kye yamuwa mwe muli omukisa gwe.
Wow.
Yeah. In other words, the parents should encourage their, support their kids. Once you see a kid doing something, for me it is try to discover something, his most interests, then support him and encourage him, because you never know. If I was discouraged, I was somehow discouraged by my sister in the UK actually. She's the one organizing. She's a promoter, Latifa. Sarah, she's in the UK. Avali London, she's the new promoter, actually for Ugandan industry, entertainment industry. Latifa Jakuba kutoka Kesawa. If you have a special talent, she's looking out for those special talents. She used to, blame me, stitching with a hand needle, and she's like, like stitching with a hand needle, But Sagwa Musuvi, I stayed focused to what I was doing, ne miracle, until Kati Weyatani Kochi support. She's the greatest supporter of my career. Wow. Wherever I go, she gives me funds. I don't lack certain things that help me, to communicate. She supports me. She comes to every show in Europe, wherever I am. Wow. Yeah. Wow. States. Wow. Otherwise, she was supposed to come on my tour as well. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
I want to just, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, the Creative Industry Talk will talk to Latif about the real fashion now on the stage. And you're going to see Latif on some of the stages, from Lucky Dube to Chameleon and to all these places across the world. And we want to just know, how did it feel like, how did people receive our fashion? How did Ugandans receive ourselves? Were we criticizing ourselves like we often do home here? We just criticize everything home here. But we don't know. The world, describe Uganda as the most entrepreneurial country in the world, but more so as the most culturally diverse country in the world. Are we ripping out of it? Just
gifted
imagine,
by nature.
Gifted by nature. Just imagine 54 dialects brand themselves and become a brand and a product, and all of them go to sell to the world stage. Where will we be? Where will Uganda be? What would we have? Say right there, I'll be right back after the break. This is the Creative Industry Talk. Edio Killer, Latif Madoi, and of course, Jaja Kaya in the studio.
It helps you become the trendsetter. Humankind is set in a way that they will always have a thing for the pioneer of things. Yeah. So we see it, if you think about these big corporations we see in Uganda and how they advertise and the different promotions they bring, you will somehow the target market will always have the pioneer front of mind. So for me, creativity, that is how important it is, because you will get the masters, you'll be an A-lister on the papers. But if you do not know how to channel, because there's not one company in the arts or in business, as we know it, there's not a company that hires more than 10 people, and all of them are not creative. There is always creativity in a company.
Jaja Master Kaya, Salif himself, and Novite Owechibira.
Oh Africa, songa mbele na vitenji ngumu. Oh Africa, songa mbele na vitenji ngumu. Hata mimi nafurahi
Welcome back from that break. We want Jaja Kaya to take it away with that sound. Jaja, please power it up. The Creative Industry Talk is going to be discussing the awards of Latif and the world stage and the fashion out of Uganda to the world stage. Jaja, please take it away.
Mama gawalagana munkola tuli batutudde tuli gazimbira obusisira balijidde mbonabona lwaki nti nebuuza balijidde mbonyabonyani waliwo ebintu byekika bimpimpi byenjagala njatule nfune nekuba nnyamba ate nga bwe ntegereza okusirika bannange sekulwanga nzikirire ekimugunyu ekisooka nkyogeza luggumugumu be bakulu bange abo baafa mu ddiriŋŋana nga tebe bandibadde batuwagira mu nsonga zaffe mpozi n'okuwabula ekika ate nga bwe ntegereza emyaka giba mitono okubalya abakasukka obuvubuka nenja okuleka golofa ewedde ate nga mpya Ssemakula yafiira ku ggwanga muyombya mbuusabuusa bwentyontyo oba yaziikibwa eyambikira yamanya kyakufa kwera kye yantegeeza
Sounds of Jaja.
Zakakati njogeza lusajjasajja n'endongo njisuna lwa kusagulanga kyakulya balijidde namulabako mu ndeeba bwe twawayanga mpozzi bwe bugambo mulamu yamuziikayo lwa buwaze n'abaana baffe so nga wano mbulemeze mulira we yabeeranga kati tuli mu bbanja kumugjayo nowe Kenya tuli muteesaako bwe tuli batutudde
Come on everybody, sound of Jaja enjoying the music all across the world.
Mwabekika njagala muwuliriza obugambo bwange ngera njagala tukuŋŋaane yabange ndaba ku kimu abazze baganda bange mu myoyo njagala ntabagana bwe tuba tuteesa bannange tulima tukwanya kati mwe mulowooza ki ku musaayi gwaffe nze bwe mbanyumiza ebife wange kati bizuukusa jjembe bitamye okwebaka ngolokoka mu birooto ate omwana alogoota na misambwa tigimutta nze ndoota maliba gantulege olusigango oba okutumikibwa obwo obubugo ulira bwe nvugirirwa obwo obugoma n'engalabi ng'ekuba newerekerwa ez'ensaasi kugambye nenfuna ekiseera ekizibu si kyefuga dda kinenninnyirira ogw'omuliro n'omwana alogoota n'abwavaayo ekiro kugambye n'asaba muto wenkanamu mu kibiina ajja n'akayimba akazito tyenkerebwa enkulu esimanga eggalira kyokka n'akanyuumunyuumaako bwe ndikutta ndikwata mulala namunyanyimbe bakuutira bwe nti lubaale yeeyogerera talimba newe baba abalongo n'emizimu n'emisambwa gyonna n'amayembe
akayimba kawayimba kawanvu nnyo naye obuyimba obwo bwonna kyekimutwala e London because he wants to create those memories. There are people who have lived in the UK for 30 years. They have never been home again. And those are the times. So he'll be chamukiriza abantu creating those memories. It's going to be a beautiful atmosphere that night. So ayagala okulaba akayimba ako n'obulala bungi nnyo nga bugwayo simply buy your ticket to Kitenji to Independence event.
Wow.
In London.
Well, I think you can understand it. Just imagine Ugandan fashion in New York City. New York City. In the middle of New York. In the middle of New York. And there's a Ugandan there sounding with this, wearing his kitenge and, you know, looking smart on the stage. How many people will stop by to actually check this out? That's how countries sell their culture. That's how countries sell their fashion. That's how countries, you know, put the work of people who are creative to the forefront, and then we market them, and then we build them, and then we take it to the next level. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about. Jaja right there. Imagine that on the world stage. What will it look like? What will it sound like? Do you have a fashion? Are you a creative designer? Are you a fashion designer? Are you struggling with this? This platform is here to encourage you that it is possible and you can do it, but you need to think. We need to talk about branding. Latif.
Yes.
We are going to the world stage. Let's talk about Latif. I want to bring some photos from, in the system there. If you put the photos up, we're going to start now that talk of Latif on the global stage, the Ugandan fashion on the global stage. I want to start with the first one. What was going on there, Latif?
This was the Uganda Diaspora event at Serena Hotel.
Yeah.
This was also very amazing to me. I brought in new ideas, like for example, that very kind of sewing. It's what I call the lap sewing.
Yeah.
That you can sew on your laps, just the same way people use their laptops and the other gadgets. So yeah, that's lap sewing at Uganda Diaspora event.
Wow.
Yes.
And the next picture, it sounds like you were totally far away in another country.
This was the last one, the Africa Fashion Week in Seattle, Washington. Yeah. This was also very, very amazing. It's one of my best events.
Yeah.
That outfit was sold at the show.
Wow.
Some artist was already waiting for me. I need that white outfit.
Yes, and he took it away. Yes. So that's a Ugandan fashion on a global stage. That's a global stage.
Yes.
Seattle as a global stage. Let's talk about this, Latif. Yeah.
This was in Belgium.
Yes.
This was also another record set. I made 7 dresses in 25 minutes.
7
in
dresses?
27 minutes, yeah. That was in Belgium.
25 dresses in 27 minutes.
Yeah, it was the Bohemian Summerfest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Again, Ugandan fashion on a global stage, as you can see it there. Yeah. Wow, what a beautiful, look at that white lady on that Ugandan black, yellow, red. Wow.
So this is where the comments come in. Oh, these beautiful colors, you know.
Yes.
And people were thinking that I was presenting an outfit. But these were actually the wraps that I wrapped the models before I make the dresses live on stage.
Wow.
So I was presenting the models. And this is also Africa Fashion Week in Seattle, Washington.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. And the next photo?
So that's the same act, the same event.
Yes.
Calling on the next model, to come and take measurements.
Yes. I want to know what was going on with these ladies, with the white people sitting there, with the community sitting there. Everybody seemed
they are following closely.
Yes. So what was the reaction like when you come on stage from these guys?
People, the organizer is on tense. She's on tension, like it's tense in the house because the way they address, the designer is coming, he's going to make 5 dresses in 15 minutes. So everybody cannot believe that. At the end of the day, it comes out as a surprise. The organizer, the one who invites you to the show, she's all on tension. Is he gonna make it? When you tell the white people that this person makes a dress in 5 minutes, it has to be 5 minutes. So it's tension, right there.
Wow, let's talk about this picture here. You are making a bag while you're traveling. I mean, how is this possible, Latif?
No, actually, this is in the house. I was trying to make my outfit. I was traveling to Dallas. No, I was traveling to Pittsburgh, I think. I was traveling to Pittsburgh from Dallas.
So you made a fresh bag for this travel?
Yeah, because I need to carry my machine. I just bought that machine. I bought it in Dallas. So I was making the outfit to wear with it. Yes, in front there to Jabira. So this was Chameleon's last event, I think.
Yes.
In Lugogo.
Yeah.
And this was Tubongana. No, not Tubongana. Which show some good event, but I mean this is a dress I made on stage, and she's a former Miss Uganda sports queen. Actually, she's still the reigning sports queen, Elizabeth. And Chameleon's also wearing another sports kind of overall. That's why you see it, but it's also Ugandan, black, yellow, red.
Wow. There was this fashion here which you did for Chameleon that we didn't understand. You tried to imitate the going to the space, and this had a lot of talk. And I said, "What is Chameleon trying to say? What is going on?"
This is the day we plan to take Ugandan music and fashion to the moon. And there was no better way to take it than to use a musical doctor with the Ugandan fashion designer, the Jet Speed designer. I created that space suit,
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was Badilisha at his
Wow,
concert.
wow,
Badilisha.
wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we are talking about the Ugandan fashion, the global stage. You've seen that coming from Latif. That's the designer right there, and the musician is actually here, the guy who created the sound to make that experience really, nice for everyone who comes to the event.
Oh, yes.
Latif, let's go back to, again, the global stage. We want to run through these pictures quickly before we talk about the words as we run towards the end of the show.
Yes.
And just put the next picture up. Let's look at it. You are making that bag, and the bag made it to the airport.
Yeah.
And we can see it carrying the machine. Let's take the bag up and we see.
Yeah.
Yes, if we run through this next picture, we'll be able to see the bag right there.
Yeah, the bag is done and the machine is packed. That bag carries also 10 different types of materials, pieces.
Yeah.
It's a whole package, it can carry materials, scissors, tape measure, and all other accessories.
So you made this from here, you didn't go to buy the backpack?
No. I make Latif Designs, I call it...
there we have American Express.
Now I'm getting my ticket done.
Yeah.
You can see on American Airlines in a full outfit. I hadn't made my mask, as you can see.
Yes.
But you see in another picture when I'm making my mask, because I didn't have the time.
Yes.
I just finished the outfit, I had to jump on a plane, but I had to make the mask.
That's a Ugandan fashion in the global stage. Next picture, please. We want to check this out and just go to that part.
Yeah.
And there's a picture when you're making an outfit in that plane.
Yeah.
We want to know how did that come around. If you throw that picture up, we'll check it out.
Yes.
Right there.
Actually, this was my second attempt to work in a plane.
Yeah.
And I was flying from Seattle, Washington to Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a beautiful dress, this green one that you can see right here. Unfortunately, I didn't send the picture. The people could see what kind of dress I was making, but it's a huge, nice, beautiful dress.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to dive to the outfit you made for Lucky Dube.
Yeah.
That was way back. And how old were you? How did you get into contact with Lucky Dube?
Yeah.
How did you get that opportunity to to work with such a big artist on the stage here? Right there, yes.
You can see the Kitenji right there. This was 2003.
Yes.
Representing Uganda on the other side and South African flags.
Yes.
Right there. This is a global platform as well.
Yeah.
Just the same way you just addressed it.
Wow.
It wasn't very easy, getting in contact with him. But when I heard Lucky Dube was coming, I had to put my mind, at task.
Yeah.
And I was working with that friend of mine, Jaja Kalanda.
Yeah.
The one we are talking about. I was actually teaching him that time.
Yeah.
So I was like, Jaja, we need to create. Our artist is in town, he's coming.
Yes.
So let's create something for him.
Yeah.
We started viewing his videos, see his favorite colors, his size and things to see his interest. So when I make the outfit, he doesn't reject it. You know how it feels,
Yeah.
You're planning something, but you have not told him. So to get in touch with him, I worked with Sarah Zawede. Connected me to Muchala Alice Luanga of National Theatre. Lucky Dube was coming there. Mega D came in there, we did some artwork with Mega D. It worked out, so this is how I met Lucky Dube. And when I presented the outfit, he was like, oh, wow, I have to wear this.
Yeah.
He embraced me. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's put that picture up one more time and check it out. Just Lucky Dube in that Uganda and, South Africa in one photo, in one artist, on one artist, Just put that picture up, let's check it out. We want to see how it looks like. Yeah, there you go. And that's a Ugandan fashion on a global stage, because Lucky Dube just didn't wear this and stop here.
Yes.
He wore it in
the concert is up there.
He went up to, and before the time.
Yes.
And that's a great stuff.
Exactly. This was 2003, and to me it was my breakthrough. Because it was written everywhere in the newspapers. It was like I was the best student in the whole nation, dressing Lucky Dube.
Wow. And what was the response coming from Lucky Dube when
Lucky Dube was very amazed, by accepting and wearing the outfit, because he already came planning to wear something. He had already planned to wear something, because he had an outfit he had to use, but he wore at an Akivubo concert. But for the VIP concert, he respected and recognized. That's why he did that.
Okay.
So to me, he felt good.
Yeah.
He felt good. He expressed it, and he actually stopped the band and announced it on stage.
Wow.
He also encouraged the Ugandans, to support the locally made stuff right here, the local industry.
Yeah.
And that was Lucky Dube for you.
Well, Latif, let's talk about the awards. You've won, of course, several awards, you know, over the years. And as we wind up the show, if you take us through, you know, what are some of the awards you've won on a global stage, and you know, how did it make you feel like? Did it motivate you to do more? And did you share that knowledge with other people, or you know, the ins and the outs of how to win the awards? Did you share it with people? I mean, you know, just take us through it very briefly.
Oh yeah, one of the most those awards that I really treasure is a sewing machine that was given to me in Norway after, you know, setting a fashion record. That is 10:23. I made 10 dresses in 23 minutes in Norway, and actually the girls who presented were Miss Africa Norway. And that was very amazing. And you know, the committee sat and they were like, we need to award him his machine. He has to go with that machine. That machine shouldn't do anything else. They decided after setting, because it was a great show. It appeared in papers on front pages twice in the consecutive days. That was so great. Then I won an award in Washington, the Africa Musicals. It's called AGMA. I've forgotten how to define it. AGMA Awards in Washington. I won that as most exceptional talented person. Then
How many people were, you know, on that stage with you?
I just know we had a South African, we had a Congolese, we had from, I think, Morocco. Because it was music, gospel, Africa Gospels, musicals, something like that, AGMA, Gospel Africa, whatever. But you can go check it out, AGMA Awards in Washington, Maryland, DMV basically. I've been, you know, collecting so many accolades. I won the Bronze Thread Award, which is the biggest fashion award in Uganda that people also must know, especially those people who are doing fashion, because you might be searching which is the biggest fashion award. Leave alone the awards we are giving out here, but this is on a continental competition. That one I won in Niger, Niamey. Then they gave me to do an artist residence in Paris, and also my internship in Paris. That's where I met also these other big stars to share with them big platforms like World Fashion Show, the Ethnic World Fashion Show in Paris. It's called Labo Ethnic World Fashion Show in Paris, and that's where I set my first record to make a dress in less than 4 minutes. And from that show, I was contacted by Alliance Française, Cultures France of Congo Brazzaville, you know, to go and educate learners on recycling materials, like you get old jeans and turn them into clothing, new brands. So that was Congo Brazzaville.
Wow.
Other awards are, of course, from Uganda. Those ones you know. But we are talking about those awards that put us on a global stage.
Wow.
Like our show.
Wow. I want to read two comments here before we go, and we'll talk to Jaja. Jaja will take us to some musical interlude right there before we, you go to the final part of the show. But Eddie Okyila, thank you very much. It's coming all the way. I'm a Ugandan living and working in London. Latif has always been a great motivation to us. I have followed Latif, Stanta Zo, Stella Tal. These are great brains that Uganda have. These guys should be able to lead the industry in putting some things that are great outside there. I wonder why we don't support our own. But I'm looking forward to seeing Jaja and Latif in London. My entire household is going to be there. Whether Corona is there or not, we are going. And of course, they got another message. Guys, there is too many messages on Messenger and everywhere, which we cannot read all of them. But I want to sample just one or two from these people here. Eddie Okyila, thank you very much for the program. I love Creative Industry Talk. It is probably the best creative program we have on television. For us who live in the diaspora, this is a place to be. Can you please have Jaja play one or two more songs? I know this is a fashion and creativity, but can we have Jaja play some more songs? I love this, has made my day. you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, for Jaja in London. I live and work in London, and I've been here for 10 years. So I can imagine these are Ugandans, you know, getting the emotion evoked because Jaja is talking to them. Yeah. And I have another one here saying that Eddie Okila, thank you very much for the show. I love what Latif has been saying. Kitenge, I cannot, you know, wait to see us put on a full suit made of kitenge out of Uganda. Yes. And this one is saying, thank you very much. The biggest problem of Ugandan, you know, art and culture industry has always been branding. They don't know how to market themselves. They're very good with the creative work and putting out the fashion, but I think we need to help these guys, you know, be able to package and market these products to the global stage. Yes, we're going to the global stage, but our products is not being marketed very well on the global stage. So Eddie Okela, you guys, can you bring some people who can, you know, bring some economics to this thing so that, you know, these guys can make money and live? Yes, we're working on that, and I think that Latif has just spoken about it. We're going to do this. How do we package the Ugandan music like the one Jaja is playing on your show right now to reach the world? You know, Nigeria has embraced their own, Uganda doesn't embrace their music, but you know, people come and take from Uganda. Eddie Okila, how can we help these guys, you know, package the music like Jaja and then take it to, you know, the rest of the world? Okay, let's talk about the copyright of the music. I'm a lawyer and I would love to be part of the copyright of that, you know, helping Jaja have the copyright, because once the sound goes out, people are definitely going to look and, you know, copy it and do this. This is a lawyer who wants to work out. So guys, thank you very much for, you know, loving these guys and sharing this as much as possible. Latif, yes, I hear you, but the school that you've talked about, how much is the fees for skilling the young people? I would love to bring my daughter to that school of yours, because my daughter loves fashion, and she's always organizing things in the house. She's made our, you know, napkins in the house. We use our napkin at home. So how can we harness this? How much is the school fees? And now where is the school? How can I join? How can So you already have it right there coming from a parent. Yes.
Oh yeah, we want to thank everybody who has taken time, you know, to watch us.
Yeah.
And also be following, and those who are supporting our page, you know, the Creative Art Talks.
Yeah.
This is great, and it's really very motivating that you guys are following, and the response is
yes.
The fees we send a watiri, it's less than 600, and it's $700.
Yes.
A whole course. $700 million village to a full course. My son pays for his school fees at campus, and he pays $2 million per semester. But we are talking about a full course of $2.5 million Uganda shilling.
Yes.
When you come to school, of course, you have to fill a form, you have to do registration, get a requirement list, and also get to know about your payment plan.
Yeah.
Because we try to make it easy for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do a very short course, that we call Quick Pass, Quick Professional Practical Art Skills System.
Yeah.
That's a system that, by the way, I developed.
Yeah.
To equip skills to all interested learners, regardless of their age, gender, level of education, in the shortest time possible.
Wow.
So that is Quick Pass for you. You can qualify for with a certificate. It's on module. It's at module levels. You can do just a few projects, and you still qualify for a certificate. We have a short course for 8 months, and also a full course for 1 year.
Okay.
And for those who want to do bachelors, you can still do that. But we are now focusing on short courses because we want to solve a problem right now. Uganda has a problem of unemployment. Abantu balina byakola ate nga ebyokola weebiri, but we want to create that awareness. Kajjangu ofuneyo a few projects, a few skills, otandike. When you make the money, I paid my own fees. I paid my own fees. Tobeereyo ne weeraliikirira. If you can start, if you can get that fees that can, you know, jump start you. Because as we say, the day you start learning is the day you start working. How is that? If you started a bag today and I was teaching a bag, capitalize on that, make bags. By the time you finish 4 months, collecting and even if you went to somebody, support, I have this. It's easy for them
because you have a little bit of it.
I can make you a shirt. I can dress you guys on your birthday. Omuntu ajja kusupportinga ku school fees. You know, waliwo obukodyo bw'osobola okukozesa n'ofuna ne school fees. I tell my son, dressing to levy off a few, you know, gundi. You get name somero na. Me personally, when I was in Mali High School, I used to make clothes for students, my fellow students. That way, chali chinyamba ko pocket money, obuntu ntunga. I don't lack. Yes.
Wow. Well, we're going to talk to Jaja briefly. Jaja, before Jaja takes us down to the song, Jaja, if you just take a moment and give us a song, Jaja.
Okay.
Yes, of your choice, and tell us what is the motivation behind the song you're giving us before you play it. Yes.
Oh, Africa, yeah, Africa. Matatizo ni mingi lakini tunipaswa kusonga mbele.
Watu wa Tanzania, niaje, Kenya.
Oh, Africa. Yeah, Africa. Ebizibu bingi na yate tulinogenda maso.
Songa mbele.
Songa mbele Africa.
Abakulembeza batufuga mwe muvake ebizibu. Bakulembeza batufuga mwe mulete ebizibu. Mutekawo embeera tetuganya kubeera na ddembe. Omwana w'omuddugavu bambi n'abeera mu bukubi. Ekisooka bwe mujja mu buyinza temwagala kuvaako. Mutinkiza nnyo ne bakyerupa okusinga bannansi. Africa. Ebyobugagga eby'omuttaka biganyula batono. Muteesa ne bannammwe ate ne mubalyamu enkwe. Sente z'amawanga ge mufuga ne muzidibuda. Africa. Abayizi ne bamala emisomo nga temuli mirimu. Abayizi ne bamala emisomo nga tewali mirimu. Twetaaga constitution ng'egatta Afirika. N'ekigambo kino pulezidenti kisaana kiveewo. Wasigalewo ekyakatikkiro oba tunaafuna eddembe. Kwegamba buli nsi ebeere ng'etwalibwa bagavana. Abantu bwe mufuuka ba pulezidenti temwagala kuvaako maama. Ya. Wa Tanzania wanasemaji? Wantu wa Kongo munasemaji kweli? Wantu wa Kenya munasemaji kweli? South Africa munasemaji wewe? Oh, Africa. Yeah, Africa. Matatizo ni mingi lakini tunipaswa kusonga mbele. Ebizibu bingi na yate tulinogenda maso.
Africa. Oh, Africa.
Yeah. The song is supposed to create The song is supposed to create awareness.
Yes.
It's not attacking anybody.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to create awareness.
Yeah.
Tubade tuina mindset.
Yeah.
What I call a mind offset.
Yeah.
Nti ebintu byonna birina kubeera by'abakulu.
Yeah.
But there's a way we can create a more harmonious way.
Yeah.
For everybody, are very open to these opportunities.
Yes,
Equally.
Yeah.
So Jaja Kaya is not attacking anybody, but he's trying to create awareness that if there is you guys, let's try to change.
Yeah.
Let's see a better Africa.
Yeah.
So that's the message. In the
I
song.
like that. In fact, we will end the show on a note of the French president came out recently and said that you want a new relationship with Africa. The French-Africa new relationship working further. How do we work together, Africa? The French-Africa new relationship, and everybody's saying, okay, what is he saying? How do you go about it? Yeah. You've heard that speech when he's saying that we want to look at a different way of dealing with Africa and partnerships, not as opposed to being, imposing things. So we watched a film recently where it says, "Don't Feel Me," shot by their a gentleman in Congo, and these guys were coming and talking about this, and then there's this part in the film where the guy gave the baby, the children, he came with the chocolate and gave them children, and the guy asked him, says, who told you that they wanted chocolate? What if they wanted cassava chips and you were giving them? So you as an artist,
if they wanted the KFC,
So now what would be your best message as an artist to that part of the call of the French president saying a new Africa, a new Africa-France relationship,
Yes. One thing, we must know something happened before during our ancestors, the slavery and things like that, but we are not going to focus on that. If we have to really move on, we must, forget certain things in a way to clear the bad blood, and we start afresh. That's a very good motive, starting afresh and create a new workable relationship with, the whites or the foreigners, because right now they know that we are very creative and we have the potential to make Africa the best continent on earth. So we embrace that. If there is a workable approach, in working together and building our countries to create a more harmonious relationship, we are open to that.
Wow.
We are very open. That's why Jaja Kaya, inamwaka line in that song, if presidency is the problem, that because everybody wants to be a president, but not everyone can be a president, you see. So then let's focus on having governors. He has a line when you listen to the song, it's in the studio, it's not yet done. But when the song is out, don't take it personal, don't take it political. It's a way of creating awareness, and we are trying to devise means. We want to see a positive change. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. And of course, we've been talking to Latif and Jaja Kaya right here. The Creative Industry Talk has come to an end. We're going to end the show with Jaja giving us that last sound of the song he sang about Latif. And you guys, as you head to London, we want to wish you guys the very best. I wish I could board a plane and come with Jaja and also enjoy this thing in London with you guys.
We actually we need a camera team, like someone filming this whole thing.
So you see, guys, come on, kusonda for this guys.
But also I wanted to add on someone who talked about a lawyer. And also a person who talked about branding. That is a very serious issue. There's so much money Uganda can tap. So a lot of dollars Uganda can bring in if we branded our products well, professionally. Because I better mu America and ebintu ebiva mu mawanga amalala. We can do this. Naye olwokubanga ako kakyabuzeemu, so the professionals who are out there abamanyi okukola branding, look out for these talented people. Try to make business with them.
Wow. Wow. Well, so we're coming to the end of the show, and we're gonna say thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Jaja, your last word before you play. What would be your last word on the show today?
Kyempulira mu mwoyo gwange ebigambo byonna byempulidde bya mazima era tuliyose okubeera nga tukyaddeko wano ne tusobola okufuna omukisa okubeera nga tuwulirizibwa ensi n'ensi okusinzingira ddala bannayuganda emiramwa gyonna gibadde mirungi era ng'ekigambo kyange kisembayo nga bwe nsabiddwa omukisa gwa Katonda gugoberera ebigambo ebyo twagala amazima kubanga Katonda mazima mwebale nnyo mikwano gyaffe abali gye muli abagoberera Reggae Embassy gye tuva ne Latif Academy ne Sweet Band bannange abagizi ba Sweet Band mbagala nnyo bannange yonna gye muli.
Wow. Latif, your final word?
Basically, I just want to thank everybody, for keeping glued to this program and watching us. Keep on supporting this TV. Keep watching, because I know he has a lot in stock, to bring to your kubabosa, in other words. But I also want to appeal to the government. This is a very serious issue, because government is facing a lot of criminal offenses, out of unemployment, people being redundant, and when you're not doing anything, you start, your mind weakens, and that creates what we call wickedness. When you're not doing anything. But when you have something that you're doing, you get closer to God. kubanga oba osaba all the time you're praying that what you're doing can excel, you get. So people find what to do, but the government should also come in. This is a very small project. 1 billion to a government, if they can give it to an artist, again they are creating awareness to like just a party. How about putting 1 billion to educate the whole nation? We need to build these schools, because this is my field. I have to talk as a fashion designer on and also for the rest of the stakeholders. You know, we need fashion schools in Uganda. Fashion is a very great element in the development of a country. But parliamentarians, but these suits should be made here. You know, let's create a national shirt and suit. Identity. Let's support the industry, the government especially. But building our own schools and nations. So please support us. Please welcome us to enable what to put to the public, you know, to create awareness for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. The Creative Industry Talk has come to an end, and we're going to end this show on a great note with Jaja and, you know, Latif giving us that song that we played at the beginning of the show about the artist and what the artist is doing, you know, created and written by Jaja Kaya, who is our guest on the show today. Until next week, keep it Creative Industry Talk, keep creating your work and stay fresh and stay blessed and stay focused. You know, life can draw so much from you, but you must stay focused.
Africa unite in Kitenjuwea.
Abamina bachara mwena abasimatuka corona naddala bali erudde eri muno sirandani kyemba kutira kiri kimu butekubagiza wadde embeera za corona bangi zatutagula kakati tuve mu mayumba bitenje bateri nesonze bumale ate nga tetusaanidde ddala kugisubwa mwani yabagamba okwambala engoye z'emivumba tujja kwambala bitenji byokka designer Latif Uganda omurasita owakabye yatonga mu nnyonyi wamakwesa lulembaga Maliki Jeni ne Hawa abo basibi banviyalo tujja kuba nabo Anifa wa makeup Mariamu yedikoletako ne Pofini ebyokulya bingi nnyo ebyekifirika Madamu Sala Soshi ebitaddemu omukono Olivia Kasarini n'alima Maka manyingo owulira Kuruno twambala ebitenji byokka Kuruno twambala ebitenji byokka
African Culture Tegeza Festival Mukitenji pate tubeera twonyine ebifo.
I have the pleasure to present to you
KCCA has taken a number of steps to address this sanitation challenge, which include, but not limited to the following: the setup,
Welcome to Slam Dunk Basketball Talk.
A wise man once said, "The future has a name, and its name is hope. A tiny flicker of light that feeds on hope is enough to shatter any shield of darkness." At Mandulus, we really believe.
private sector is not yet fully utilized, because not everybody can be employed by government. And we are looking at a future whereby more people are employed in the private sector than in government. So I think if we all work hard, if we all work together and invest in the right areas, there's been a lot of talk about value addition in the agriculture sector, in the mineral sector. If there is enough investment in those areas, I think it can create enough jobs for our children and grandchildren.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to take you to question number 4, Andrew, which is, let's talk about your journey at City Hold and the foray into the Executive Director's office, which is as Andrew Chitaka,
Very
as
interesting.
well as the Director Engineering.
Very interesting. I joined KCCA on 1st November 2011. And before then, I was
for so much. CEO of, you know, whatever. They give so much.
This is the reason why you're actually on the bench.
Because of my credibility. Thank you so much. But now they attack you, they vilify you. And the goal is to weaken you financially. Is to weaken your honor. These are slanderers. So I'm glad that someone would stay up at night to ask and learn about me. And I pray that in the next 2 months, because I know many Ugandans who travel overseas, when they go there, one of the things, because the media has been so much, and Sam Kutesa, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, has really not done a good job. He has dropped the ball on this issue. Why? So many of us are being accused of being gay killers, including me. You've just heard that person. Uganda is being accused that we kill gays, which actually is absolutely untrue. And because of this, it has affected our tourism. It affects people who go overseas to do work or study. It affects whenever you go to a conference. Hi, my name is Eddie Okello. Oh, where are you from? I'm from Uganda. Oh, you are the gay killers. And then you begin to describe. See, so one of the things that I've done is I've written a book, which should be coming out. I know that I keep saying the same thing, but the work of doing a book takes a long time, and I wish I could be supported. You know, many people who write on this subject, like Sylvia Tamale, she's supported by the Rockefeller Foundation, Carnegie Foundation. There is money.
Is a very big brand, and as we go on, we will probably discuss the things we're trying to do to see that things change for the better.
Good. Sean, on the CEO bench, for everyone who is following, we're live on our YouTube studio where we actually stream from. So YouTube studio, for everybody asking for a link, is actually House of Talent Uganda.
Confident in themselves and what they are offering. I think that's the biggest problem. Like, women will easily settle for a less pay than men would.
Okay. Mona Onyeto goes on to say, I think this is a comment, says, I didn't know that beauty products are taxed at 60%. Whoa.
They are. I pray that changes soon, but they are.
Okay. So with that challenge of 60%,
setting up the company, you're doing tours all across the world. You know, a personal account is great, but how these things are taxed becomes important for you know, for your business later on. As soon as you cross that threshold of 50 million a year, you know, you're now in
the interest becomes more shares.
Yes.
we should have structures in place that will always keep these kids involved in the game of basketball, so that when a tournament comes, we are not just starting to pick someone here, someone there, someone here to put them up for the games. That is a very bad system that has always plagued Ugandan basketball for a very long time, which I think FUBA really needs to change. Let us have structures, you know, where people graduate from the under 9, under 12 to under 16, going forward like that. Yeah.
I was having a discussion with Stephen Nyeko, who is the head coach of Namuongo Blazers and also part of the ESCOM committee. And in that discussion, we're discussing the issue of basketball academies and how they are structured. When you look at countries like Egypt, Cote d'Ivoire, their basketball structure is, for you to start up an academy, there is actually a committee that vets that academy. How you're doing it, how you're running it, are you qualified enough? What are you actually teaching the kids that you have, boys and girls, and then what is your continuity program? However, we have so many people that have started up academies in Uganda at the moment, basketball academies, and even in other disciplines, but we don't have a committee or an authority that is policing these academies. And that is why I think we're getting it wrong. We have, when you look at Egypt, the Egypt female girls team is scoring enormous. They're actually slaughtering and embarrassing teams.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
By the first half, the first 2 quarters, they're actually done with the game and they're just running their rotations. Because you've been scoring 140, 120, 130, and the other teams that they've been beating have not even been able to make 20 points. You know? The previous game they scored 164 to 10, no, to 12.
To 12.
Yes.
That is a very big margin.
And then when you go down, they go down and their process starts from when these girls are 8 years old. Come to 10 years old, come to 12. Now the best are picked out from this. Here we have a student starting to play basketball at about, when they're in senior 2, that is about 13, 14 years. By the time they can actually grasp a few of the basics, they are in, let's say, senior 3, senior 4. Now, when you put such a student against someone who has been in camp and practicing from the time they were 8, totally, it is a disservice, it is a mismatch, it is a mishap. Good afternoon. The show is Slam Dunk Basketball. My name is Felix Eupal. It is a show whereby we discuss, dissect the beautiful game of basketball. So many things have been happening. In studio today, I have 2 gentlemen who are representing us on our national teams, and they will be introducing themselves later in the show. I'm with my co-host, Emmanuel Ateng. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Felix.
A lot is happening in locally and internationally.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for basketball. You know, when the lockdown came, we thought that, you know, nothing was going to happen in basketball. But yeah, it's an exciting time. Looking forward to the, you know, Afro Basket that will be starting next week, and with the under 16 that just concluded. So yeah, really expecting a lot.
Remember, we are live on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on our website, houseoftalentug.com. Gentlemen, thank you for honoring Slam Dunk Basketball with your valued time. Please introduce yourself so that you do the honors.
My name is Yuhi Richkeri. I am captain of the U16 Silverback national team.
Okay.
And I've been playing basketball for a long time, ever since I was around 9.
Okay.
And I took an interest in basketball when I started watching TV and watching LeBron and everybody. But then it started becoming a big thing for me when I realized how passionate basketball as a sport is. And then we're meeting great people, great coaches like my coach, Coach Ronnie.
Okay.
And yeah, I just kept on playing and working as hard as I
Thank
can.
you for representing the junior Silverbacks. We'll be getting into that discussion later in the show of how everything was. So,
to our viewers out there, both here in Uganda and others who are watching in the diaspora?
My name is Mutebi Roni. I'm the coach for the Junior Silverbacks, boys under 16. And I also assist with the under 18s.
Assist with the under 18s. Yes, and you are also a coach of Warriors basketball team. Yes. Last time I checked. Yes, I don't know, you can update us on the current situation.
Yes, I'm still the head coach of Chambogo Warriors Basketball Club. I think it's one of the biggest clubs in Uganda. If I'm not mistaken, the biggest.
Which did not register for the current league, which is at the moment on a hold.
Yeah, given the conditions, yeah, because it was really a call of life against fun. So we had to choose, priority is life. As Warriors, we value lives, and we didn't want to risk, given the situation we are in as a country.
We had that discussion with Emma, according to the manager of Warriors basketball, which information was relayed that it was an issue of COVID, but however, other teams were taking part. The former players of Warriors were also being signed and actually playing on other teams. So it didn't make a lot of sense.
And you're not taking in consideration, because you guys told us that it was a situation of you need to protect the lives of your players. Which same players were playing pickup games, they were, moving out here and there. So I don't think it was a valid reason actually telling us that you have to protect your players. There must have been something else on the inside that none of the people in the Warriors, committee really wants to tell us. Was there something?